Okay, so the other thing I want to ask you about is, there's a certain producer that you might have worked with before that has a very interesting crowd participation at their shows. And since you're sort of in that same lane, I just want to know, are people butt at your shows too?
Oh my God.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Danny Ferrari.
My name's Parker Immense.
Frank.
And this is the XLNT Show, and we have a very, very, very special guest, the original Sad Boy himself.
The leader of the Sad Boys.
The leader of the Sad Boys.
Well,
Well, you're up
I
there,
won't go
dude.
that far.
Trevor, also known as Said the Sky, bro. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for
Thank you
coming.
guys for having me.
We'll put some audience claps in
Yeah.
the background,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, that
It's
sounds
gonna be
good.
sick.
Kids cheering.
How was that intro? Was that pretty good?
That
Should
was-
we keep working on it?
I feel like I'm not prepared. That
You're-
sounded great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's very
awesome.
professional.
So we start our podcast off. We told you about this. We've been trying to get you in here for a long time. You come and use the studio. You've been here. You've been a homie, and we always appreciate you obviously coming in because
Hell yeah.
we're all huge fans.
Appreciate
I don't know.
you guys.
Yep.
Fucking love it here.
Love, you're an amazing songwriter and
Aw,
producer.
thanks.
Yeah. So we start our podcast off with a gift. I told you that.
Oh shit.
And you are the hoodie master himself. We were just talking about this.
I do love
Hoodie
hoodies.
master.
You do love hoodies.
I do love hoodies.
So we got you a hoodie.
Oh, what?
Here, it's actually not a hoodie. I lied. Go ahead and open up that hoodie. That hoodie is,
Just open it up.
I
This
feel
is-
like I know exactly.
you know
what
the
this is.
exactly
secret.
what it is. It was about time.
Wait
Like
for
I'm
it.
being inducted into
Yeah.
something.
Dangerous gifts only.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
shit.
Okay. Can we do the thing?
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it.
We're gonna have to do the thing. We're gonna have to do the
Oh
thing.
my God. I'm
That is
so
for you.
fucking pumped.
It's Professor Snape. Sorry, I hope that you like Professor Snape.
Fucking love Snape.
Is Snape your fave?
He's up there.
Who's your fave?
Fuck. I honestly don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Snape's
let me
Snape's out
think
there.
about it.
He's dope.
Yeah, you
He's
can be honest.
sick as fuck.
Yeah.
He's super up there.
He's my favorite. He's always been, even when I thought he was a bad guy.
His resolve throughout the film was fantastic.
Dude, made me cry, bro. Shit's so
Did you
sad.
really cry?
Yeah.
Like when you were reading? Did it make you cry when you were
No, I
reading?
didn't
Or
read
like
the books. I don't know how to read,
you
bro.
didn't fucking read the books? That's crazy.
I watched the movie and I was like, oh shit, he's been good the whole time. But I liked him as a bad guy too. I
Yeah,
like bad
no,
guys
he's
in
sick.
movies. Fuck yeah, dude. Spelliamus that shit. Or do you
I
need help?
I like when you think they're a bad guy and then they turn out.
Yeah, that was-
You know,
Yeah.
I love
That's the
that
resolve
shit.
I'm talking about,
Exactly,
man. Fucking
yeah.
love
so
that
beautiful,
That
right?
hits.
Wow, look at that
does
finish
hit.
on there,
So
dude.
I don't know if you know this, but Parker and I are the bad boys of EDM. Frank's in training. And
yeah, okay.
So I think I told you this, but for the viewers at home, they've been seeing the other videos that we've been posting. Everyone's been getting dangerous gifts. When you saw us
Dangerous kid.
play with our wands, I knew I was like, okay, when he comes on, that's what he's getting.
Yeah,
I'm
had to
so
be.
excited.
Had to
People
be.
have gotten switchblades, butterfly
Butterfly
knives.
Butterfly knives.
What?
Ghastly David was here the other day, and we got him Wolverine claws that are actually like sharp.
Sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're sick.
That's
They're like
so
real
tight.
knives.
He was
dude.
stoked. He was
Did
stoked.
Yeah, he was
were you
really
able to
hyped.
like cut some shit?
You
on
can
the
fuck
stream?
up a box or whatever, or a human. Yeah, they're sharp as fuck.
It'll cut through people.
Yeah,
Yes,
it had
dude,
like
it's-
plastic
it's
tips
wild.
and shit on it. It was tight.
No
Like
shit.
plastic coverings because they're dangerous.
Right.
Yeah.
But this
Okay,
is, I think,
Stepfather
cooler because
style.
it shoots fire.
I'm
Do it right now,
I'm so
for sure.
Is this the flash paper?
Yeah, that's it. If you need extra, let me know. I know a guy.
There's a lot of flash paper. Okay, so let's see. Are
So
there
you just want to
directions
tear
in
off.
this thing?
Nah, we don't read directions. We're bad boys. Okay, so just tear
I have
off.
so much to learn from you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
exactly.
I'll
Yeah,
judge.
okay.
Yeah, I'll figure it out from you.
It's pretty
I'll see how
easy.
much you tear off.
This is it's dried out. Which
Teach
because
me.
the other thing is when you get these, if it's not dried, it's gonna be an issue.
You got to think of like it's a musket, essentially.
Yeah, you're in the Civil War.
Oh, I've used those before. Yeah, yeah.
And you're about to.
At the shooting range.
A musket. God,
This
okay,
this
yeah.
actually might need to dry out a bit. But
a little damp.
Bro, it's gonna
yeah,
just
we'll leave
it's
it
gonna
there.
inflame.
Let it dry, or I'll have Kean spread it out. So, but I think this one will be all right. Okay, so proper
Like
technique.
a dry corner.
Little roll of a joint, sir.
Okay.
Oh, from the expert himself.
Little.
Only bad boys know how to do this.
You could
good
also
technique.
use a
Bad boys
tool.
only.
There
Yep.
should be a ramrod in there.
He's really good at this.
Thank you.
Yeah, is there a ramrod in there?
Thank you, Trevor.
Ramrod. Yeah. I'm pretty sure
Yes,
this
perfect.
is what you're talking about.
So in the ads, it had this like cool tiny little wand ramrod. Super disappointed it didn't come with that. It came with a fucking popsicle stick. Anyway, so like if
Yeah,
you
it's
do a
pretty
good
underwhelming.
chunk or like a longer one, it's gonna shoot. If you do like a small one, it's just gonna go plonk.
Okay.
So hopefully this will be pretty good. But I'd throw it in like that.
Oh, so you twist it. And
that's
fold
kind
it
of my
over.
move.
You give it a fold over.
Is that what you do too?
No. So I do it like the joints, and then I bend the joint in there.
That's what I just did. I flipped the.
That looks like it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mash
yeah.
it in there pretty good though.
Mash it in all the way down.
Yeah, just like you're smushing.
Yeah.
That's down there.
All right, there's an on button.
Oh yes.
If you don't say a spell
thing is
before
up.
you do this, I'm going to be very
that's
upset.
Expelliarmus, bitch.
Yeah, just shoot it at Parker's face whenever you're ready.
Please no.
Expelliarmus. That was more like a Patronus kind of thing. I feel like.
Dun, dun, dun.
That was so sick, dude.
What a gift!
I love it.
Was
sit
it too
right
wet?
on.
God, that
Was it
smells
too wet?
I don't
so
know.
bad.
It might be.
Oh,
we'll come
man.
back to it at the podcast.
Yeah,
Let's let
yeah,
this
yeah,
dry out. I'm sorry. But that's going to be really fun.
It's gotta air out.
Yeah, it's got
It's your
to
first time.
It's
It's okay.
I swear this never happens.
Yeah. Shooting blanks. Just lay them out over those keyboards so they can dry. That's probably.
No,
so
don't put
you're-
'em on the
You're a big
keyboards.
Harry Potter
Put
fan,
them on
yeah?
the keyboards.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, not like don't quiz me.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean. I'm not that type of, but I fucking love them. They're great.
Me
yeah.
too. What's your favorite one?
My favorite, like Harry Potter movie.
Yeah, which one?
I mean, they're all sick.
I'm going with Goblet of Fire.
Really?
Yeah, I love that one.
I like 3.
That's
I-
stinky.
Sirius Black is so
That's really
sick, and
Prisoner of
the whole
Azkaban.
time thing is so dope.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Prisoner of Azkaban is in the Harry Potter like fandom is regarded as one of the best.
Oh, is it really?
Yes. Order of the Phoenix, I think, is the I don't know how people think about it, but I thought that one was the worst. The Order of the Phoenix one. Do you remember that one? See, nobody remembers it. Basically, it's where Sirius Black dies.
I remember it.
I feel like I've watched all of them like a few times, like just front to back, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like in society. But I never remember what happens in what movie because I'm just
Yeah.
like 2, 3,
Right.
4, you know, I'm not paying attention.
I do
go
that
straight
at
through
least
it.
once a year.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Damn.
There's a season for it. There's Harry Potter
There
season.
is.
Yeah.
And there's Circa Survive season, which me and him talk about.
Yes.
You like
There
Circa
is.
Survive, right? You know Circa Survive.
They're one of the. So it's funny. Like growing up, I was absolutely listening to a bunch of shit in that realm. But there's
Yeah.
all these bands that were sick, that were outside of what I would listen to.
Uh-huh.
Like I would find one band that I really liked, and that's all I would. You know, I didn't like go
Me
out
too.
of that
Go
for
hard.
some reason. Circa Survive was unfortunately like outside
Really?
of
So
yeah.
what
me
was
too.
what was the main band?
Yeah.
I mean, shit. It went from. I mean, Owl City was constant through everything.
Sick.
But then, like, I got into from that. I went a little more like post-hardcore. I think I would do like Attack.
Nice.
We Came as Romans, Asking
yes.
Alexandria, like that kind of realm.
Nice.
You like Under Oath?
Under Oath was outside,
Outside
and
the realm.
Seosin. Like there was all these bands that are sick
Wow.
as fuck that I like go like I find now and I go back and
It's
I'm like,
not going
why
to hit the
wasn't I-
same, though.
I know.
The
I know.
nostalgia is there.
Yeah,
But,
that-
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So I don't have the nostalgic feel with a lot of that stuff, but I am now like appreciating it in a new, like a different way,
Yeah.
which is still kind of cool. Like
That's
it's
cool.
Yeah. So we always get into the conversation of it's either Bayside or
Bayside.
who's the other
Wait,
band?
about the seasons?
No. So like we always fight about who's better. So I'm
Oh,
a
brand
Bayside
new.
guy, and you're brand new.
And Circa Survive, we
And
both
Circa.
agree.
I
Yeah.
don't listen to any of those.
But these are like seasonal things, like Circa Survive. I only listen to in like brand new when it's like the fall and it's like raining and shit like
oh,
that.
okay, yeah, right.
Yeah, so that's like kind of like what I mean by like a seasonal thing.
I listen to
Oh, yeah.
those
I get that.
nostalgic
I get
bands pretty much nonstop.
You do?
Yeah, I
Who's your
mean,
go-to right now?
Under Oath is usually a pretty big one.
Nice.
There's this band called Lower Definition that it never got that big, but one of their albums is like my favorite albums ever made. It's very
Fuck
post-hardcore, has metal screams and a lot of singing, kind
Okay.
of similar to Under Oath. Like more metal-wise, like August Burns Red is
Damn.
Classic.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
that's a classic.
On that tip, I think it would be really cool to, because I think Parker knows you a little bit more better than everyone. I've talked to you a couple times and you just met Frank, but on
Yeah.
that, I'd like to really start with like what your influences are and like how you started getting into sort of this scene and being, you know, like a
That's like
songwriter.
a perfect segue. It's a lot of that shit was the
Oh,
post-hardcore
really?
stuff because they had all those like moments in their songs that were, especially like Asking Alexandria would just open up with like synth shit and like rain and like atmospheric stuff and then go break down like
Yeah.
metal for a bit and then a little like bridge towards the end that was just synths again.
Yeah.
And then I found myself, I was like, I love these little like pretty moments.
Yeah.
Like this is what's like grabbing me is like
Nice.
all this pretty stuff. And then I was like, oh wait, fucking like progressive house exist, like trance exist, all this like, it's full songs of that stuff. Like
Ah.
that's
Yeah.
so cool.
That's
And you can do
crazy.
that on a laptop.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I came into like electronic music through fucking like not electronic music.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
really weird.
Chiodos?
That's such a cool way.
No, that was like I was outside of the fucking.
Yeah,
That's
I feel
such a
like
cool
lot
way
of-
of
But like
getting into
amazing,
EDM.
like obviously.
Yeah.
A lot of like we talk about like band dudes. Like Barker and I are like band dudes. I don't know if were you in a band when you were young? I feel
No,
like
marching band.
okay, that's right. Okay,
So
so
kind
wasn't a
of
joke.
But like
Nice.
it's like a lot of people
No, that
go
was dead
like
serious, yeah.
listened to that style of music and then started making like EDM of some sort. Like it's like weird. And then some people stayed there kind of.
Yeah, or they became a tattoo artist.
True.
Or like a barber.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's all those the pathways.
Nice. So
Tattoo artist or a
what would-
barber.
I was going to say one of my nostalgic bands is Motion City Soundtrack.
oh my god.
Hell
really?
yeah.
And you got to work with them.
Yeah,
like
sick.
that's so sick.
So tight. Yeah, they're
Like-
the sweetest people ever. It
They
was
seem
really cool.
cool.
So I wasn't able to like meet them in person or like chat with them, but we like talked online, like through phone, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're fucking great. They're like the coolest people ever. They're very chill. Like I feel like I connected with them a lot just on the chill side. Like they stay at home, they're like raising kids. They like
Yeah.
to hang out, and that's so like I'm past the point of like wanting to travel a bunch and do a
Yeah.
bunch and be out and doing all the crazy stuff.
Yeah,
I
they
like just
did
being
it.
at home.
How old are you?
30.
30.
Almost 30. 30 in like a
Same.
month. But hell yeah. Nice.
That's awesome.
Which I feel like is pretty. I could keep doing the show stuff. Like I feel like a lot of people who are in this will absolutely continue to do that until they're 40, maybe. I don't know. Like you could keep going. I just I'm
Really?
yeah. I feel
You're-
like already I'm such a homebody. Like I
Wow.
love being home. I love being in a studio. Like working on
Yeah.
music with other people. Like
That's one thing I really
my
notice about you is that like at least in this scene of EDM is like I think of you as like an actual like songwriter. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
other people like make cool songs and they write songs, but like you're like making like albums. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you're doing it in a sense that's
Stories.
like more sort of connected on a deeper level. Emotionally, it's not just like this fast food like serve me up a fast like a drop.
What's funny though is I think in terms of like sound design, it kind of is fast food and that like because I'm so I used to love sound design. I would nerd out for hours making one fucking Nero bass
Yeah.
or watching Cohen sound videos and being like, how
Yep.
are they doing this shit in Reason?
The
What
best.
the fuck? Yeah, and trying to figure it out. And I loved doing that. And then I got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm 8 hours deep and I have this little clip. But you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't as rewarding as like getting in the studio with a friend like Brian, who I work with a ton.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
He's cool as fuck.
he's amazing. And he's a great songwriter. He can shit out amazing songs in like 30. It's wild watching him work. But like working with him, it's so different because it's like you get 8 hours done and you have like a whole song that you can go home and listen to and like, holy shit, like I'm feeling something from it just kind of shifted my perspective on
Sure.
what I want out of music, which
Has hitting that wall, not wanting to travel as much, not wanting to tour as much, stay home, be in a studio, has that significantly affected the energy of what you're producing? Has that shift?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Definitely.
Makes
because
sense.
like I'm down to I have a little more fun doing just kind of like singer-songwritery like arrangement, I guess you could
Yep.
say, where it's just a guitar and a vocal. If you can get those two things sounding like amazing and you can listen to it front to back and love it, then adding on becomes fun because it's like, okay, cool, how can I change this but also in a way that's complementing it and not distracting from what's already there and already amazing.
Yeah.
I don't want to do too much and it become okay, now it's this like dubstep song with a vocal thrown on it. How could you make it a song that has cool sound design?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool too. That like it sounds like and correct me if I'm wrong, but your process is you're starting with the foundation of whether it be with a piano and like a vocal or a
Yeah,
guitar and a vocal or a
100%.
melody idea, and that's so good because I remember learning like something that stuck to me. I went to Icon and one thing they said was like in our songwriting class is like we had to write a song with just piano and all of us had to sing our own song. And we had to
That's
play
so
it off.
sick.
Holy
That's so
shit.
dope.
Yeah,
Fuck
so
that.
It was really like eye opening in a sense because it was like the whole point of the exercise was to see what a good song is. Like,
Yeah.
if you listen to, like, for an example for me is like Adele, Hometown Glory. It's like an older Adele song, and it's just her and the fucking piano, and it's fucking amazing, bro. And it's
Yeah.
like, and then you get to go in and sort of spice it up, but that probably
Yeah,
keeps
yeah,
it
yeah.
a lot more simple, essentially, which is great.
So much simpler, but also like you do miss out on the sonic experience that you do get with those producers that exist who make these insane compositions
Right.
that are purely sound design and incredible works
Sure.
of art that are like you listen. It's like I can't do that shit.
But
you know?
who's to
I
say-
just know I'm not that guy. Yeah.
Who's my bad? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're
who's to say that like you're writing all these songs and then one day you could just be like, oh, just for me, I'm missing this. I'm gonna do some sound designy shit. And whether I want to
100%.
put it out or not,
Yeah.
I just want to
And that
scratch
happen-
that itch a little
That
bit.
happens every once in a while. I'll have a day where it's like I'm feeling a little techie today. Like I want to get weird and like
Let's go.
get
Yeah,
ear
dude.
candy
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
have fun with it. And you can always still do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
very easy to go back.
I think it's always so cool, like that you're kind of bringing like a musicianship aspect to EDM, where it's usually like kids on laptops and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with that, but like there is a feeling that
Mm-hmm.
isn't there, like when you're just on a laptop, or it's just harder to achieve without like playing an instrument or
True.
you know.
Less organic.
It's hard to put your finger on though too, because I do like there's so many musicians that I know that are just laptop musicians.
Yeah.
Who are some of the most insanely talented musicians that can write amazing shit. Who have no idea what they're doing. Like if you
Right.
ask them like, "Yo, what chord is that?" They're like, "I don't fucking know," but it sounds cool.
Wow, yeah.
And it's incredible. Like you don't have to know. You know, there's a lot of musicians out there that can do it on a laptop and that don't know any better.
It
but
is an
they're
instrument.
writing- yeah, it's an instrument, and I think some people know more than they give themselves credit for in a sense,
Yeah.
or just understand music in a way that some
Unconventional.
people. Yes, exactly. Like a lot of people when they get like I myself included when I was getting into music when I was young, I felt like I had to go to Berklee and like learn the chords and. I'm gonna be in the class one day that finally tells me here's the God chord that does, and, oh my God, I found the chord that like fixes all of my musical questions, and it's just not the thing. Like there's no like answer to anything, and some people just know that I think and they just know this sounds good. This sounds like garbage. I'm gonna go with what sounds good. That's
Yeah.
So wait, did you go to Berkeley?
You went to
2
Berklee.
semesters.
Two semesters.
yeah.
We have a Berkeley boy right
Berklee
over
boy.
here.
Oh shit! Let's
Berklee
go.
boys
Yeah.
in the
Berklee
house.
squad.
Was that
Hell
like?
yeah.
Did you get that realization when you were there? Like,
Not really. I honestly just left because it was way too expensive, and there were some. I don't know if I want to shit on Berkeley.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't
Do
for
it.
me. It wasn't for me. Like there was some classes that you show up and the teacher was kind of just like, "Did you read the chapter? Sweet, read chapter 2." And I'm like, I'm paying
oh my
so much
gosh,
money for that.
that's
Like
brutal.
I could just buy the book and do this myself.
Yeah.
But there's also some teachers there that care so much and are amazing teachers and had great classes and learned a lot. But yeah, for me, I think I got more out of the people that I met there who were doing similar things to what
Yeah.
I wanted to do. And just hanging it, like the first semester, I was like the school kid. I like got straight A's, you know, had like a 3.8, which I've never had in my life. It's like I'm
Sick.
doing school. I'm like really good at this. And then second semester, I failed every class, but just because I was like, oh, okay, wait, you can go about this one way, which is do your homework, turn in all your assignments, learn, which you're still learning. It's still good to do.
Yeah.
But you're missing out on meeting people and like getting new experiences through your classmates and like having them show you stuff. And so
Yeah.
second semester, just hung out with a bunch of friends that I'd made, you know, and like we just sat on a laptop and tried to make really shitty electro fucking house beat, you know what I mean?
That's
And,
dope, though,
It
man.
was so fun. It was really, and I feel like I learned more doing that. So it was easier for me to be like, okay, I'm paying too much and I can do this anywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still stay in touch with the people that you met there?
Yeah, definitely. There's actually do you guys know
Yes,
dot?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan.
Hell yeah. So, but Ben Bruce from it was one of my like best buds when I
Really?
was going to.
That's so
Yeah,
sick.
he's
Yeah,
the man.
they're actually a big inspiration of mine.
No shit.
Yeah, I transitioned to making like more experimental, weird, wonky stuff, and
Yeah, they
and
nail that.
they're
stuff.
so damn good. And
They're nasty.
like when it comes to having a signature, boy, do they have one.
Have you like chatted with them before?
I don't know them. No.
They're the sweetest dudes. They're so nice. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll introduce you guys.
Sick, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
What was like the segue into kind of like your like style of music?
Yeah.
'Cause were you were making like heavy stuff in Berklee, or like what kind
Well,
of stuff was it?
Heavy, like electro, just weird, like shit popping out at you.
Complextro.
Complextro. Yeah, exactly.
Dope.
So heavy,
IDM.
kind of, still pretty, but like in
Early
a
Porter
more,
type shit.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. The Spitfire days. But
Yeah.
that shit. Oh, that shit was so.
I know, it's amazing.
That's an error right there.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, Owl City was a big, like listening to him kind of solidified just like my general taste of shit always being like kind of pretty and like fluffy and nice. That I feel like seeps its way into everything I do nowadays. You know, like I would try to make heavier shit when I was younger. I would attempt to make like, okay, fuck it, I'm just going to do a dubstep song today.
Yeah.
Like, what if it had strings? And then I like, throw some strings in there. And like, what about a piano? And then all of a sudden it was a melodic dubstep song. So it's like, I can't make just heavy stuff just because I'm used to there being a piano and notes.
Yeah.
Just 'cause it's what I've always done. Yeah.
That's
More of
who
a
you
muscle
are.
memory thing, I think, than anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
dope, man.
So I checked Twitter today, and I saw that Illenium is dropping his brand new
yeah.
album at midnight tonight.
He's got a listening party tonight.
Oh, cool.
Oh, do we have some Said This Guy songs on
yeah,
there?
yeah, we did it too.
Are there like 7 of them? Or?
There's not 7 of them.
That's what I'm hyped for. I want to hear the
There's
crazy
one
shit.
that like I'm on that's like a collab that I'm part of, and then there's
Yeah.
a few other songs that I like writing that I like helped out with and stuff on there.
That's so sick.
The album's it's perfect.
Best one yet?
I love that
Wow.
album. It's
Really?
my favorite.
Really?
by
Wow.
a long shot. Like not even close. Yeah,
That's
it's got a little
crazy.
bit of everything. It's so like he went so far in so many different directions. It's
Awesome.
not like he's been doing some of the poppier side stuff. He's been doing more of like he's got this Starfall is sick. It's like I don't even know. I'm just gonna let you guys listen to it. I
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
rather than
yeah,
explain
yeah.
all the songs, but it's cool. He took a lot of big steps in a lot of different directions.
It's
and I
very
think-
eclectic, is what you're saying.
but in a good way that still feels like you hear Nick in every song. It doesn't feel like he just like went crazy and made a bunch of random shit. Like
Yeah.
it's still he somehow managed to bundle it in a way that's like this is all Illenium shit and so unique and cool. Yeah, it's
That's the Skrillex effect.
Can you talk about
love
how
that.
that like because you and Illenium have done a lot of work together, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like,
yeah.
can you talk about how that sort of relationship started and sort of like what it's like now with
Yeah.
you guys? Because you guys seem like you're like he's like part of your crew. It's almost like you
Totally,
guys are
yeah.
like supporting each other and helping each other with albums or whatever. So
Yeah,
how
he's
did
the
that whole
man.
thing start?
Yeah, so probably like 10 years ago now is probably roughly when we met. We were both learning from this dude. His name's Chris. He goes by like Omega. He makes dubstep and shit. He's out in Denver. The sweetest, most humble dude you'd ever meet. Heard about him because he was really good at mastering at the time. And he was the kind of guy that was like, yeah, I'll master it. And also, do you want to come over and I can show you what I'm doing so you can like learn? And I was like, yes, 1,000,000%. Mom, I gotta go. 'Cause I was still like living in my mom's basement at the time. And he would just show me, like I'd go over to the studio and he'd be like, yeah, and explain everything. And at the time he was doing the same with Nick. And he was one day he was just like, I feel like you and this other student of mine would like probably write some cool stuff because at the time
Wow.
he was like purely doing like the heavy stuff. His drum programming was already like really nuts, and my drum programming was garbage. It was like because I never focused on it. I would like
Wow.
focus on the pretty melodic stuff, and drums would be like an afterthought. I'll like do all the production stuff later, but get the song down. And so we linked up and tried writing a tune together and had something in like a day. We had like a full song that was like,
Wow.
like really. I think the first one we did was probably the Drop Our Hearts Part 2. Which is
Wow.
like one of the first things that we released together, however long ago that
That's
shit was.
crazy.
But
And it was the first thing ever made together.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
so cool, man.
yeah. It was I think that was the first one. There was like we had like a string of like 5 or 6 songs that all like happened really quickly, and I always get the order a little mixed
Yeah.
up. But I'm pretty sure Drop Our Hearts Part 2.
So you guys just hit it off immediately and just
It was
started
like a
cru-
perfect balance. Like at the time, all of like my weaknesses he was great at, and the things that he wasn't quick at, I was like I got it. So it was very
Wow.
easy. Like I have an idea, I'll sit down. As soon as I was done, he was already thinking of something cool. He would sit in, do some shit. It was a perfect loop of that.
That's
Just
the
like,
best.
It was amazing.
That's the perfect collab.
It was.
Yeah.
It was great.
Does it
Yeah.
still feel like that today with him?
No, very different. I mean, because we've been working together for so long. He's also such a sponge with information. You show him something once, and not only does he have it forever, he's really good at applying it. Like, I feel like I've worked with a lot of other producers. I've like done some teaching in a small scale, like, and Nick's a weird outlier where you show him something and he just gets it. And in a way that's like, not only will he always remember it, he can apply it perfectly and like tastefully and in a, you know, like you show somebody a trick and they're like, cool, I'm going to throw that plugin on every track. You know, they just they overdo it. He's not really like, he gets it. He's got to create, his brain
It's
works.
just talent. It's just
he's a very talented dude.
Good ear.
Exactly, yeah. So working with him was really cool. But yeah, I mean, over the years, we've both learned so much that it's still very easy to work with him, but it's just in a different way. We're also so busy playing shows. It's not as, like back when we first started working, we had all the time in the world. Like we would do a tour and have like a couple shows a year, you know what I mean? Like a festival would like find us or something and we get all stoked. But at the time it was like, cool, how do we write the coolest songs? So we just be in the studio all day, every day. So it's just different, you know?
It's just so rad that you came up with your buddy.
So cool.
Like,
Yeah,
that's
that
so
was-
cool to me. Like,
It was really cool. Yeah.
like you just have this dude. You're like, I like making music. I mean, it's kind of like how I feel like with Parker and I, but like we're more of like a partnership essentially. But you guys were both, you know, killing it together. And then now it's like you guys are still able to come together. And shout out Omega for fucking making that shit
100%.
happen.
Chris is the man. Yeah.
That's so sick.
With your guys' first tour together?
I think so. Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
I think the first tour was an Illenium tour, and I just opened. I was
Let's
like support
go.
for it.
That's so fucking sick.
That's
It was great.
awesome.
That's so funny. Literally just so I'm staying with my other buddy who is our manager at this point and does
cool.
like some of Nick's day to day and everything. We were just looking at old photos from like the airport on that tour.
Oh, wow.
Like it was snow. It was like blizzarding when we went to the airport, and somehow there was one seat on one flight that was still making it out. Nick was like, "See you later, guys. I just have to get there." And so Sean and I were like, "Do it, get there for sure." And so Sean and I were just sitting in the airport like, hope we'll make the flight in the morning. Like, hopefully, it's like, yeah, it was so funny.
Oh, man.
we
That's
were
so cool.
just looking at photos from that of us just being
That's so cool.
morons.
What was like the turning point? Like since you guys started together, was there like just a trigger of like, oh, like we're playing giant shows? Like, was there anything that was like very obvious, or was it kind of just like a grind and like you're just doing your thing and
Was it
it
rocket
just
ship?
kind of came naturally?
I think. I assume if you were to ask Nick this, he would have a little bit more of a rocket ship story, you know, because he just fucking sent it.
Yeah.
I feel like I felt like I was a little more general, a slight like incline the whole
Yeah.
time. But I think the only turning point that I remember in my career is being like, okay, I feel like I'm doing this now. Like this feels like I'm actually a musician. Was probably when I put out my first album.
Wow.
'Cause I feel like when you put out an album, even if it's not like it didn't get crazy streams or nothing really changed, but I feel like in the eyes of a lot of people, it kind of like
Artist.
yeah, it's like, okay, they're in this for the long haul. They're not just trying to make a quick like, oh, I like making, so I just want to be a DJ. I'm gonna like put out a song. There's a difference between somebody who's doing that versus like, no, I'm like in it for the long. Not saying you have to make an album. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can make a bunch of singles and stuff, but I feel like when you put out an album, it's a very easy tell for people to just be like, okay, he's doing this long term. This isn't just like a little side thing for him.
Writing an
anymore.
album is a fucking daunting task, and it really
It can be.
I mean, it's just like it's a lot of music. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I mean, when albums anywhere, what is it, 8 to plus songs?
Just
8 to
12.
15,
Yeah.
or 12 is
8
probably
to
the more.
12 or something, right? Like, right?
I don't know if the rule is, but yeah, it's like
But-
it's
and it's just like when you take the time to make a body of work like that and make it cohesive and make it have a through line and make it have a signature and whatever, it's different than throwing out a couple singles. You know, it's like it
Right.
just shows that your heart is truly in it.
Well, what's funny, like the first album that I put out was kind of just like, oh, I have like a lot of songs right now. I didn't even I didn't realize how many songs I was working on until I was like, wait, I have like 8 already. I only need like a few more before I feel like this is an album. Why don't I just like turn this into an album? They all kind of already fit together. I can do this, I think.
Yeah.
So it was really like the challenging thing for that was just finding like the missing pieces to what was already a fairly cohesive body of work, luckily. You know?
Yeah.
I didn't like go into it day one being like, okay, let's start the first track of an album. It was one day I just decided I had enough shit for one.
That's
But-
cool.
How do you attack albums now?
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean,
God.
it's, I know that's a crazy question, but like, do you chalkboard it? Do you have like a big sense of an idea of what you want to do?
No,
Like-
for sentiment, it was more of a sound. I had like a sound in my, like a palette, I guess
Yeah.
you could say. Like, I love that Rhodes was a huge part
Hell
of the
yes.
palette, honestly. Like,
Hell
oh my
yes,
God, the
dude.
first time I played that and tracked it, I was like, this is my favorite thing in the whole world.
I
I'm
remember
gonna buy
that.
one tomorrow. It's the cool, I love it. But something about that one specifically, too, it's just,
That's awesome.
oh, it's so good.
Played my guitar too, bro. My guitar's in the
Hey.
fucking
Oh, hell
album.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm
That's
so
fucking
stoked
cool.
on
That's
that.
amazing. Hell
That's
yeah.
fucking cool.
It sounded amazing. It sounded great.
Not as good as the Rhodes, but you know what?
Dude, it's a nice guitar. It's a nice guitar.
Yeah.
But yeah, once I had like the idea for, you know, the kind of like rock or like pop punk leaning mixed with electronic stuff, I was like, I had so much fun with that, and like writing with Brian
Yeah.
made it so easy because he eats that shit for breakfast. You know, he can write that stuff.
He's a beast.
Like that. Yeah.
I don't
So,
know who this Brian is.
Oliver the Kid is his
Yeah,
like,
Oliver the Kid.
Oh, I do know who he is.
Hell yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's insane. He's
Yeah.
like one of the coolest, most talented people I know.
I have a interesting question because I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this, but what do you feel about these dubstep artists putting out an album of growly bangers over like just 10 growly bangers?
I mean, that's how I feel like the same question could be asked about how do you feel about somebody who's just it's all like pretty stuff, like pretty love songs. You know, it's like, it's kind of, somebody could look at it the same way. So I think it's really, if somebody likes the growly dubstep, that album is 100% for somebody. Somebody
Yeah.
out
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
love this shit. And so like, I say send it. Like,
Yeah,
if
okay.
you're having fun making that type of music, do it as much as you can, because one day you might not, you know what I mean? Like, I go through phases a lot where I'm like, I love this, like the sentiment stuff. I found a combo that I liked, so I was like, I'm gonna run with it as long as I can, because one day I might wake up and be like, I just like smooth jazz now. I don't know why. I don't like this stuff anymore, and so I figure, yeah.
I think that's what's
Send it.
so cool about like what I like really respect about you is that you're in this sort of, obviously like you're in the EDM realm, but you're like literally like a step away from like going into like the major label pop realm if you wanted
right,
to. So
right.
like you have the ability, I think, with your sort of lane. Obviously, if you did a dubstep album, you know, it'd be a little bit of a jump, but like, but realistically, like you're like almost like Carmack in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
a little bit different. I know Carmack's a little bit different, but Carmack can kind of like move
He can
around a
He
little
has
bit.
the soul R&B side,
Right,
Yeah,
you know?
and I'm just wondering for you, are there any plans to sort of break out into that market a little bit more instead of like you know, working? Because I could totally see you working with like Justin Bieber or like any like
MGK,
major
dude.
pop
Me
stars.
too. I was thinking the same thing.
Remember we talked about ego earlier? Bro, I swear to God, though,
That's so
I
funny.
genuinely mean that. And I
Yeah.
think that's like with a lot of like, I have this conversation all the time. So like longevity as far as your career wise, I think you're in a really good spot personally
Well, thank you.
to be
too.
able to
That's
sort
the
of
cool
transition
thing
to
here.
that
Totally,
that other
totally.
sort of next. We all say like the next level. You know, Skrillex is the king of EDM, but he also
Yeah.
is like in pop and like he's doing these huge things and he's gonna be around for a fucking long ass time.
100%.
So,
Yeah.
do you see yourself trying to move that, or are you just kind of just making music and just whatever happens?
Absolutely see myself going which you guys kind of know this. I've been out here quite a bit lately, just getting in sessions with a bunch of like different people that I haven't worked with, that I have worked with, and going into it with more of a, hey, let's write a cool song today. It can be a Said the Sky thing if we wanted to, or we can just write something for pitch, or for you. If it's another artist, let's write something for you. And just like working that muscle of not only being able to work with somebody and like, how do I hear and understand your vision, what you want out of music, and then also help you like,
Bring it to
realize
life,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. Which is a lot different than going into it being like, okay, I have this 8 or to 12 track album and it's got to fit this box perfectly and it has to be this type of song. It's just a different approach to music entirely that I have been having a lot more fun with lately. I like letting somebody else take the reins, and I love watching that but like being a part of it, but also you're kind of like watching somebody else's song.
You're like highlighting it.
Yeah, exactly. I think
It's always easier that way, I think. 'Cause
I
You're not working on
100
you're not all hard on yourself. It's like somebody else's
There's
project.
way less stress. Yeah, you're not worried about
And
it.
you learn a lot when you're doing that. Like you would approach things or do things completely differently than if you were writing a song for your own album or your own project. And then you're like, oh my God, I've never even thought about doing things this way. And then you bring that back to your own stuff, and it gives you a whole new world of options.
Exactly. I was just talking to somebody just last night. I had a session with this dude, Smart Death. Sick writer.
Wow.
Really?
Awesome. Really cool stuff. But he was talking about a very similar. He was like, I think we were talking about quarantine. I was like, were you guys able to write stuff during quarantine, or because for me, I couldn't. I don't know. I was so uninspired. The whole I could not get myself into the studio. And he was like, honestly, yeah, we just had a lot of fun with it, and we would like intentionally make goofy songs that will probably never see the light of day. And we just got to talking about how cool and useful that can be sometimes, and how even if it seems goofy, you can look back at it and be like, maybe like you feel like it was a waste of time almost, and like we were just making dumb shit. It's like it's really the attitude that you have going into that, I think, is the attitude that you should have going into music every single time.
It's hard.
It's so hard. It's so much easier said than done.
Yeah.
But it's like when you see that and when you experience that, it's like, why can't music always just be like, let's just write a good song? Like, who cares like how you sang this word in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what, like, just have a good time. If it sounds good, roll with it. If not, let's figure something else out.
Yeah, does it feel good or does it not feel good? It feels good? All right, great.
And have fun, like enjoy.
Yeah.
Like we're making music. We're not curing cancer. We're making sounds. Like it's so and I do this all the time. I get like, oh, the song's not good in it. Like somebody else is probably gonna call this out, or even like I feel like I didn't put enough. It's like at the end of the day, who gives it? It's sound, you know. And not to discredit music has saved so many lives. Like I love music so much and always will. But at the end of the day, it's music. You know, it's not. You know, I don't know.
Open heart
No, it's
surgery.
supposed to be fun.
It's supposed to be
and that's
fun,
the
yeah.
expression of fun is the art.
Yeah.
And it's what I've heard too is like we and him have talked about this. I mean, this goes with any sort of creative process. I think the more that you have fun and that you're truly genuinely like letting yourself be yourself in that moment and not feeling pressure or anything like that.
Right.
Those are the songs that always end up like popping off, or those are the projects
100%.
that
Every
always end
time.
up popping off.
Yeah.
It's
Every
like,
time.
Yeah.
So it made me think of like Eliminate right now, like just in a weird way, because like Eliminate's like right now he's streaming a bunch and he's just like making like silly songs in the middle of it. But people are fucking loving it. You know
Hell
what I'm
yeah.
saying? And
They
it's like
love it.
if you can't obviously, like you said, easier said than done, but if you could take
Right.
that sort of pressure off yourself and go into it as like a playful sort of experimental sort of place where you're not judging yourself, whatever happens, it's more than likely going to be successful.
Absolutely.
Than you fucking sitting here trying to, you might make a great song, like, really trying, but it's weird how that works. It's almost like the music gods like bless you. In a way. Like,
It's like a mental thing, and you're like a
Flow
channel.
state, flow
Yeah.
state.
100%.
Those
It's
days are really
weird
nice.
when that shit happens.
When the first idea, you're like, oh, maybe we'll toss this, and oh, that's gold.
Yeah.
Fucking that just keeps happening.
Yeah.
Oh, I freaking live for those.
That's what we
days.
do it for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
the producer
the fucking
high.
dragon. Yeah.
The producer high.
100%, bro. Is that feeling of just like, I just know what's coming next.
Are you on Ableton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Were you always in Ableton, or did you do like Pro Tools, or?
Yeah, Pro Tools in high school. I did like a Warren Tech class. They had this program where you could go to, I went to a different campus for like half of my day. Learn
Wow.
digital audio production for a
Sick.
little while.
In
Like,
high
it
school?
was
So
the
dope.
coolest thing
My
ever.
school
Yeah.
had this too.
No shit.
I didn't do it, but my school had
Really?
that. We're like a quarter of my class, like after like fifth period or something, would go to like a building 25 minutes away and learn a trade.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. You could do anything. You could do like sports medicine. You could do culinary stuff.
Plumbing.
Like, they had a ton
like,
of
What?
Yeah.
They had plumbing.
Yeah, it could be any. It could be music. It could have been anything.
Yeah, I went to the
There was
wrong
there
high
was
school.
there was a welding class.
It was
For sure.
It was great.
I had a
was
fucking
amazing.
PowerPoint class. That was the only option we had, was to learn how to do
Dude, I had fucking-
PowerPoint on the
I had
fucking
cooking,
that was
dude.
computer lab, and you learned how
Good
to
for
do
business
fucking
meetings.
PowerPoint. That's right, buddy. Great. I do great PowerPoint presentations.
You are the XL god.
I am
dude.
not bad
You're
at
like an
Excel.
XL master
I
over
do
here.
pretty. I don't want to toot my own horn, but yes, please keep praising me.
I always ask you for questions on Excel, dude. I don't know what I'm doing.
We
in
were
there.
actually that it kind of brings up the thing that we were talking about earlier before we started filming, and we had to save it for the pod.
Yes.
yeah.
T-shirts available now in the link in the description. I hope.
I
I'm
hope-
making it happen
Yes.
right now.
Tell them what it
The
says,
business
dude.
It's
man.
going to be a
Tell them what
T-shirt
it
that
says.
says "Save it for the pod."
Hell yeah.
The Excellent Show on the back somewhere. I don't know. We'll have a picture of it. We're
Yeah.
gonna make a design.
So while you're on that subject, do you remember what you
Yes.
forgot that you were going to say?
Something.
yes,
Before.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
He and I were talking about how I need constant validation.
Yes.
Oh, no, we were all talking about that.
We all always do.
And we're like laughing and like, but it's true. Like I need to know that people. I wish I'm working on that. But it's an honest thing that I really need to know that if people are enjoying what I'm doing creatively, because other than that, it's as much as I wish I could say, oh, I do it for myself. Obviously, I do. I wouldn't do it if I didn't do it for myself. But there is a huge part of me that is just wanting to hear acceptance for my art from peers or from friends, and it's just the truth. And we were just talking about that, about how it is just sort of like a, we all really just want validation.
Yeah.
And that's
Oh,
what
for sure.
I was hoping that you could share that, especially for somebody that's in your position.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
But what I will say on that though is it's kind of a roller coaster where I think you realize how much you do it for yourself when you get to a point where you're constantly getting that like, wow, this is amazing. You go play a show and everybody's like, oh, this is so cool. Always feels great to hear that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's
That's
always
the-
an amazing
that's the
feeling.
best.
But when you do it enough and it's for years, it keeps happening, you start realizing like it doesn't you're not happy. Like when you wake up in the morning, you're not like, people love me.
Yeah.
Like that's never like like that doesn't change how like content or like at peace
Yeah.
you are, I think. So once you do that enough and you get enough validation and realize that it's not changing you, then it like allows you to go back to like, okay, no, I'm still making music
For myself.
for myself. Like I'm still here and I'm still doing it, even though like the validation isn't changing how happy I am. The music has always changed how happy I am. And like making the music has always been like, if I get in the studio, that producer high when you like get in that flow state, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is so there's no feeling
That
like
flip,
that.
that
Yeah.
switch flips, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, we did it. We're here.
Yeah, and you're like by yourself, just like dancing in your studio like an
Yeah.
idiot, and then you're like,
Yep.
"Fuck, there's not cameras in here, right? Like nobody's watching you."
Dude,
right?
I've reached that turning point where I'm like, oh, this is what the song's gonna be. I've had like my roommate, like, cause I'm like producing in headphones at like 2:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Walk into the studio without me knowing, take a video of me when I hit that. And he posted it on Twitter. I wanted to fucking kill him.
Yeah.
That's mean. That's mean.
Yeah, I mean the tweet did pretty good, but
Because it was genuinely honest.
Yeah, true. It was honest.
I
Yeah, you were
looked at it
having
and I
fun.
was like, holy shit, I look like a fucking moron. Oh my
Damn.
god.
But you were having fun.
yeah,
You were having fun.
I was in the flow state.
Yeah, right.
Producers always rock out the hardest to their own beats.
Yeah.
For
And
sure.
there's always that guy
For sure.
that will show you a beat that's rocking out a little bit too hard
Yep.
to you about his own beat.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
brutal.
Oh, I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
And I'm stoked for them because it could be a good beat, but like, there's definitely people that are like,
That's actually
wait for it. And
Well, dude.
I've done that before too, but it's just so funny. That's like,
There's actually like really big artists that got famous for doing that before they were famous. Like
got famous for rocking out to their own
So
music.
like T-Pain before he was famous, he was that guy. When he would show his own music, he would flip out and go crazy.
Kanye West.
jump on the couch. Kanye.
I guess it's
Um,
infectious or something.
Like Emanike. Do you know Emanike?
No.
He's that like pop dude. He's got songs with Ava something. But dude, that's how he got popular. Was his music was good, but he also had that extra like energy when he was
DJ
showing it
Khaled
off.
sort of vibe or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Another one.
Another one.
Do you guys ever find it difficult to accept that praise and those compliments?
Yes.
All the time.
I find it really hard
weird.
sometimes. Like, cause I don't know, like the thing that people usually, I don't know, but the thing that people usually compliment me on is like sound design stuff.
Hell yeah.
And I don't actually think I say this all the time, but I don't actually think I'm like good at sound design. I think the only power that I possess is I'm willing to sit there until I finally stumble across something I'm happy with. So like, how'd you make that sound? I'm like, I have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
Like,
I think there's a good lot, like there's a balance there with like understanding like, okay, cool, I'm not the best at this because
Yeah.
nobody's that, like everybody gets complimented about something,
Yeah.
but nobody's the best at what they're doing. There's always somebody somewhere who's better. And that's for everybody in the world, you know? So I think realizing that and having a little humility and being like, cool, no, I'm not the best, but also I worked hard to get here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I'm good at this. No, I'm not the
Yeah.
best, but I'm good at this. Like,
That's confidence.
have some confidence and like know that what you're doing, like the hard work that you're putting in is paying off and you're learning through the process. You know?
I like that point of view a lot.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too because like also like I think your peers that you hang out with when you're hanging
so
out
talented.
with like Virtual Riot, who's could arguably be one like somebody that could
He
go.
might be
I
the
might
best.
be the best
Yes.
at
He might
sound
be the
design,
best.
right? So like that's understandable, but I find it interesting too. Like when with like the YouTube, like we get so much love and we rarely get any hate.
Yeah,
and
That's
obviously,
amazing.
the comments are always super nice to hear. You say all these great things like, "Oh man, like you taught me how to make music," and now da 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 da. And then there's one bad comment, and the energy
Wrecks
that's
your whole day.
focused on that is like, why can't I put that energy
Yeah.
into all these great positive comments?
That'll never go away.
It's
I'm
crazy.
sure it could,
Yeah.
but even like I feel that everybody that I know is the exact same way too. It's so easy to focus on those.
I hate to say it, but you have to rewire your brain because I think this is true. It's unfortunately true, but the hateful comments are almost better for you than the loving comments.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. People are
Sometimes.
haters.
Unless it's exceptionally dark, right?
Right, or if it's like what I do enjoy, and I've talked about this before, is if it's if it's like a constructive cut. Like, here's what I didn't like about this. Like, if I put an album out and somebody's like, it was a little bland here in this area, or it was like it didn't hit me here. It's like, cool, I can like
That's
do
constructive,
something with
yeah.
that, or not. But at least I can make the decision, and I know where you're coming from. But when somebody's just like, "This is fucking trash," like I hate this is so stupid. It's like, okay, that's purely an opinion.
Troll.
You got to take that and deal with it on your own time. And like, you also have to consider the people that are taking the time out of their day to post or like comment
Yeah.
something, even if it's mean. Like, I just think about myself and all the people that I know. If I like any rational person that I understand, if they scroll across something and it's not for them, they just scroll. They keep scrolling and they find the next thing.
Comments.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like
That's
the people
crazy.
who do comment are probably people, not all the time, but probably people who are like, they have the issue isn't what they're commenting on. It's something
Yeah.
else that they got a lot of
They're
anger
lonely.
built up that they're trying to get out. Maybe
You guys don't comment on shit when you're on TikTok?
No, but we're
I
talking
know,
negative,
we're talking about
negative.
negative.
So you're just
hateful
saying
troll-
negative.
I don't think
yeah,
I could
yeah.
ever-
If it's
Okay.
good, I'd love a good. Like, yo, this is amazing.
I see you comment all the time on
dope.
all your stuff.
I say, yeah, sometimes I'm pretty low
Social media wise.
engagement when it comes.
Engagement.
Yeah, when it comes
Low.
to, I don't really. I'm probably on the low side when it comes to comment. But if I do comment, it's never gonna be a this is garbage. Like,
I've never done that in my life.
right.
Yeah,
And
I've never
most
done trash
like,
comments.
Generally, people don't normally do that. So it's the demographic that we're seeing that are commenting is not
Yeah.
your average Joe. You know,
Yeah.
It takes an
in
extra
my
special
opinion.
asshole to do
I
that.
think
To
so.
really sit down and take time out of the day to tell you how bad it is, and it is usually something with them.
That's
that
what
they're
I would
dealing with.
wager. Yeah, that's.
And I think going back to the validation thing, I don't know if you guys feel this, but Frank, you gave me a weird look when I was like, I need to be validated. So maybe no, and it's not bad. It felt like maybe you don't. Maybe you don't feel that way, but I think what's more important to me, and I work, not that it's about Danny's therapy in here, but I work in this. I go to therapy, and this is something I really work at because
Hell yeah.
I want to love myself, and I want to be proud of the things that I've done, and I am proud. But there's something about the validation of a comment on YouTube saying how much we've helped them with music or whatever, or somebody liking a sample pack, for instance, which feels great.
Yeah.
Versus like Parker or my friends or my peers or people looking up to me to be
That's
like,
true.
yo, this song is dope. Great example. Actually, you probably don't even remember this. First time I met you, we were playing a demo track for one of our songs. I remember this.
Wait, I remember this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was playing
This was
it
one of
for
the
you.
first times.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you were like, that's dope. And I was like, oh fuck, dude, like that felt so much better to me, which is like it's kind of fucked up, you know what I mean? It's awesome to hear that, but I'm saying like it felt so much better to me that Trevor from Said the Sky was like, oh, this is sick.
Well,
It's-
no,
I mean,
that makes yeah.
I'm being honest, like
It's a peer
real
thing,
It's a
though.
real fucking thing, and I don't know if you guys deal with that, like
I
especially for
wonder
somebody
if
like
it's.
you.
I wonder if it's like because your friends are. Well, I don't know, because that's it. Because you also like, you would hope that some of your closest friends are gonna tell you if it's trash.
Yes.
And they're gonna tell you if it's good.
Right.
But it's never like. It becomes like a learning thing. Okay, we're learning together. Okay, it's good. Okay, cool. I did it right. I'm not
Right.
like it feels less of a ooh.
Yeah.
This is new. It's
Right.
like okay, I expect an answer, good or bad. You're used to an answer from that person. So when
Right.
it's somebody else who has no stake in
Right.
it, and it's just like cool. I'm just hearing this for the first time. I don't really know you, so I have no reason to like suck
Right.
it. It'll be like, oh yeah, this is sick. It really is sick. So when you get like that, oh, this is cool. You might be able to like trust it more. or
It's,
like,
Yeah.
it's purely
100%.
objective. It's
Yeah.
just subjective.
It's
yeah.
ego too. It's 100% ego. Like in
All
the sense,
ego.
like I need to know that like people that I think are good or people that I respect think that I'm good at something.
I think
That's so funny.
I'm being honest here,
No,
bro.
I
I'm
get
laying it
that.
all out.
I
No,
get
dude,
that-
this
I
is a
get
very
that.
honest podcast.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. I think for me, where I am definitely looking for it and trying to, give the energy that welcomes it is shows. That's where I'm
Sure.
very.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
but not like after, before, like when I'm playing a show. That's when I'm trying to get that energy response back.
okay.
That's where I really fiend for it. But
I
like.
feel like people lie to me at shows. Like people lie.
That's
That's a great
exact-
song. So I can never take it. It doesn't
Dude,
matter who
I'm
it is.
with you on that, man. I'm the
Music-wise,
exact same way.
yeah.
Because I also, and I think you probably have a more of a sense of this than you think. Is like when you get a comment, like you said earlier, you mentioned like a YouTube comment, like you helped me learn music.
Yeah.
Something like that. When somebody says something like you helped me learn music, there's so much more in that than just like you're doing a good. It's
Sure.
like you just like you might be shaping this kid's future.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, crazy.
That's you just had a very positive and like you can tell. And even when somebody comes up to you and there's a difference between like, yo, sick set, dude,
Yeah.
versus like I've been listening and watching your podcast and like there's something in the way that people compliment you where
Yeah.
you can tell that they're really listening. Or even
Yeah.
like if you put out a song and somebody like or like an album and somebody asks you about the song, that you might have a little thing in and they're like,
Yes.
yo, what did you do for this? And you're like, you heard that too. Like
Yeah.
nobody else is kind of like likes this one, but you heard what I like.
The nuances.
You you like there's people who catch on to those things, and I feel like
Yeah.
you can get a sense of that versus somebody who's just like cool shit.
Right.
It doesn't feel the same because
Especially when you have that one song and you're like, oh, this is like the most sentimental part of this,
Exactly.
right? And you're like, no one's gonna know it, but it's there for me because it makes me happy and
Right.
it's emotional for me. And then people notice. You're like, holy shit! It was so intense for me that it translated.
or even so I've had the opposite where I've had like a song that I really really like, and then it's not like a lot of people don't really get, but then you get the few people who are like, yo,
Yeah.
they ask about that song, and that's
Wow.
that's when you're like,
Special.
oh, okay, I
Special.
hit that like nice.
Yeah.
You heard what I heard
I
when I
struck
was
that nerve.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like it makes that connection a little more special than
So
like
cool.
the hundreds of people being like, this is cool. It's like, okay, cool, everybody likes it, we all like it. That's great, but
Right.
Yeah.
something a little special about them liking the little one that you like too, you know?
Yeah, it's like because it's so rare that it's very specific.
Yeah,
It's
even
that
if it's just to you.
specificity,
Yeah.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to take 15 seconds to let you know that Excellent Sound is running a limited time bundle for their most highly anticipated and sought after production suites, Gorilla and Redacted. With over 400 multi-genre serum presets, 50 custom wavetables, and 6 of our most coveted Ableton project file remakes. This is the perfect suite for any producer out there that wants to make genre-bending music. And guys, I literally use these sounds in every single one of my sessions. It's over 5 gigabytes of content. It's a no-brainer. Use code EXCELLENTBUNDLE at checkout to save now.
Do you have a sense of like which song is going to be the banger
Hell no.
song? Like in
Absolutely
the
not.
beginning?
No shot.
Any sense?
I used to think that I did. I was like, I feel like I got to a point where I was like, okay, I feel like I know what like palatable shit is. I feel like I know what people are gonna like.
Yeah.
And then it was releasing the album is what gave me showed me. I have no idea. Like the song,
Crazy.
no clue. Yeah, like the songs that I was like, ooh, okay, this song did well, so this song is like kind of structured and arranged similarly in a way that's like different, not too similar. It should like cool. We should be good. Nope. It's just,
Wow.
Yeah, but then there's other songs. It's like, okay, this is a good song. I still love it, but it'd be my last pick for what I would assume would do the greatest. Would do great, and it's so strange. It's really
Yeah, I
strange.
feel like it's not as consistent as it is on like an algorithm of like TikTok or like Instagram. Like if you do a funny video in a certain way and you keep doing it that way, people are going to keep watching you, or like comedians.
Right.
You know, but music is very like it's so different than all of that. You
I
know?
also
There's no algorithm.
Yeah, there is no algorithm.
There's no algorithm.
it's so easy for me to get a little down about the whole thing too. Just like I just have a shitty attitude towards it when I see certain songs on Spotify that are like charting and doing amazing, and I listen to it. And I'm like, how the
I'm fucking with you.
this? Like,
I'm with you.
It makes no
It
sense.
doesn't make any sense.
Like if I made, I'd be like, okay, this was like a garage band first demo. I just graduated high school and like went to my first Skrillex show and feel like I like, or just that's a shitty example, but like, how do I make this?
It's a
Like,
great
and this is a
example.
demo that might be able to be pitched out, and that's the song that's like,
Yeah.
it's so weird. There's some songs that are charting that are like undeniable and they're
Yeah,
amazing and
yeah.
they're just something catchy about it. And I think there's a skill there too that some people try and tune
Yeah.
into, and some people probably can, and they have an ear for that stuff. That's like they're like tuned in
They're like,
to.
oh, I'm gonna make this go viral on TikTok, and then it's gonna be charting.
Have you ever actually picked one of your hits? Like, because I feel like Parker and I know with sample packs which
Yeah.
ones are going to do back.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
it's different because it's like I can base the sample pack based off of what our target audience is and what I know about what our
What's
viewers, what
trending.
videos are watching, right?
Yeah.
Versus like
Analytics, yeah.
picking a song. Have you ever? Because I hear this a lot. This is like a normal thing that people say all the time. Is like, I was so surprised that people liked this song. It was
Yeah.
probably my least favorite on the album.
Right.
And now it's the most poppin' fucking song, or even like content wise, like virality too.
Totally.
So like, has there ever been one that you're like? Because we all do this. We all go, oh my god. We started fucking closing our eyes and imagining like us at like EDC, like and all the waves. This is the song that people are gonna go nuts to.
Yeah.
Have you ever actually
Hell
picked
yeah.
it and picked your shot and be like, that's the one, and then it actually happened?
No. Never
No,
happens.
it never does.
Isn't that
I can
crazy?
never guess it. Yeah, some people can and have done that. Like
Yeah.
I have some friends that I write with who are like, they go through waves where they're like, some days I feel like I can pick it and I have a good sense of what's gonna do well, and then like 2 weeks later, I have no fucking clue. So I feel like some people just they tune into it
Yeah.
somehow, you know. And I
Not
don't,
me.
Yeah, I don't think I can either. I don't.
It's hard.
It's so hard.
But
I just don't understand it.
It's really better that way, essentially, because if we could just let go of the fact of like, yes, we're gonna have favorites no matter what, but just be like, I don't know which ones. Like you're kind of saying, like, I like all these. This one might be my favorite. I don't know which one's gonna pop. I'm not gonna push it or try to like manifest it into like existence. You know?
And I think it happened from years and years of doing this shit and like putting out so many songs and having different like amounts of push from a label and different amounts of people on board and helping it or not, and
Right.
seeing similar results for both and understanding like nothing. This isn't shit. Like anything can happen, and there's also so many different steps in the process that can have a little bit of sway in what direction it goes, and even then, it could wind up at the same spot. This is the most convoluted explanation I could possibly
makes
give.
a lot of sense.
Because it's a goofy ass fucking game.
Yeah, it really
is.
is. There's so many. It goes through so many hands just to release a song on a label nowadays that it's like if the label owns X amount of spots on a playlist, it's like, cool,
Right.
you're at least guaranteed this many plays out the gate. Like
Right.
without even like having to make an amazing song. It just has to be a good enough song for the label to want to put out, which
That's a weird thing to think about too.
yeah, it's weird to think about. Then also is like I have so many opinions, like so many thoughts about like some of them are great. There's amazing people who work at labels, not amazing people. You know, they're
Yeah.
like anywhere.
You're
but-
totally independent though, right?
No, I mean,
essentially?
yeah, essentially, yeah. I've done like single album deals with like, but I haven't like signed like a record deal with anybody.
I feel like a lot of people are going that route now, you know, just because it just doesn't make sense for labels,
Yeah.
you know? you could do everything yourself now.
But he's also
Yeah.
like, I would imagine people are all over your dick for publishing.
Oh yeah.
Well,
for
so
somebody like you.
that's actually right now what that's who I'm talking to a lot of publishing companies trying to do, because that's what, like we were talking about earlier, you were asking me if I wanted to go more in that route of
Yeah.
writing people. That's the best way to do it, and they can help you get into rooms with other writers and other. So I would love to do something like that, but yeah, it's just meeting with them, finding out who.
Yeah, I
like,
could see your music in like movies and shit.
Yeah,
Hell
that's why I'm
yeah.
like,
I would-
you're so fucking
Oh my
commercial.
God.
dream would be to like score for like
Me too.
fucking Hans Zimmer shit. I would love
Dude,
to
that
do
would be
something.
so
too,
sick.
man.
But he's oh my god! I was watching a video of him doing the Dune soundtrack. The way his
my
brain works and how he explains stuff is like so sick. There was some instrument. He hired this performer who plays this like it's like a. I don't want to say like
Elbow or some shit?
Kinda, yeah. It's like a woodwinds-esque instrument, but super not. It's like this crazy thing. And he was explaining to the dude how to play. He's like, I want you to play it as though you're wind. Like I want you to be like and
Ooh.
breathy and like it. So like and then they show him like performing it and like recording it and then playing it in the Dune soundtrack and it's nuts. Like the way he's breathing into the instrument feels like wind, like tonal wind.
That's
that
so cool.
So cool. It's like
What a creative thought to
Exactly.
push a
Literally
performer
breathtaking.
to that.
Exactly.
Yeah, who's the dude that did the Mad Max soundtrack on
I'm
the
not
newer
sure.
one?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I
The one with
can't
Tom
remember
Hardy?
his name. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
He's an insane composer too, and he does weird shit like that all the
Damn.
time.
Just pushes people outside their
Yeah,
theory
I gotta
limit.
look it
That's
up,
really
like
cool.
who he is. But he had the idea. Did you see Mad Max?
Nope.
I
There's
heard
a-
it was terrible.
No, that's
Dude,
cool.
no,
Oh, really?
It was super dope. I'm a big fan about it.
Parker's
I
got
heard
a shitty taste in movies
nothing
sometimes,
about
but
Dude, Trent Reznor.
I have a niche taste. It's not terrible. Okay, it's very
a good-
niche.
yeah, that's
all
a
right.
good one.
a
I
gentleman's niche.
I
I'll
like
give you that.
Sharknado.
Gentleman's-
I like Sharknado.
I like Sharknado.
That's
I
so
like
funny.
You like-
those fight movies that are like
You like-
super fake, but they're cool.
You like movies like Bring It On 2 and shit like that. Or it's like the second movie that like went straight to DVD about
Yeah.
like
You like those?
UFC. What
Not
was
Bring
the
It
fighting
On.
ones?
There's
Not Bring It On. I was thinking of the wrong fucking
Never Look Back. That was a fighting one.
the fight
No,
like
no,
the UFC
not that
fighting
bad.
movies that like are like the first one comes out and it does all right. But it's like the second
Frank,
one.
it's called Boyka. Have you seen Boyka?
you
It's
go.
like about this Russian fighter.
Jesus
and
Christ.
it's-
Parker's movie
Whoa.
taste.
Dude, it's so sick. And they are the best choreographers for fighters. So they're the
Oh,
ones that
shit.
get hired for like real movies.
Yeah.
But it's them
But
acting.
this fake movie.
But
was,
it's like it's one of those. It's like a Jackie Chan movie, but
Yeah.
Russian, and the storyline's insane. But like
Damn.
you could tell the fighting is fake, but like the angles are really good at like hiding it.
Right.
And I enjoy the hell out
Yeah,
of it.
no, I get it.
It's so sick.
It's a guilty pleasure. But like when
don't
we were
get
on
it.
the plane going to Hawaii,
Yeah.
you were like,
Oh,
dude, I'm
dude.
gonna watch EMT. It's gonna be so sick.
Yes.
EMT
I
with
mean,
Jake
yes.
Gyllenhaal.
I get that. I have weird taste with like I'm also just so easily entertained. You throw any movie on, I'm probably gonna be like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter what the movie is.
Yeah.
I, think
I
it's
wish
pretty
I could be that
Not
way,
me.
man. I'm
Yeah.
too cynical,
Me
dude.
too.
Turn
I-
movies off in the middle if you don't like it.
I'll know within the first 10 minutes. Me and
Oh,
Kaylee
you-
have a rule.
You gotta give it
man.
more. You gotta
No,
give
no.
it at least 25.
We'll give
Yeah.
it 15, and then if it's like not pulling us in, we're out, bro.
Oh, that's
You know what I-
terrible. Some movies start off slow and build into something
Yeah.
beautiful.
but
dude.
you should have. There's something. I'm telling you. I
could
wish I was like. I wish I was more like
I
that.
will
I really
say
do.
there are some movies that I will watch where if like it doesn't matter what the cast is, if the writing isn't like believable enough or it's like too and you're like, why are you saying like it doesn't make sense?
100%.
It's a little hard for me to get through movies like that that
Me
are
too.
like
bullshit.
What about bad
Yeah.
acting though? Like when you see somebody right off
I-
the bat and you're like, oh my god, your acting is not that good.
I'll hate the character, but I'll still be able to watch
You're
the
fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like it because of how bad they
No,
are.
I get that.
If it's
They're, like,
bad enough,
trying.
it gets funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not for me.
I understand that. I understand. Like I give you a hard time about your movie taste, but really,
Yeah.
I'm really jealous that I wish that I could have a.
That does
just-
sound
It's
nice.
just like
It
it's like
sounds nice.
casual watching, and it's like you're just having a good time. You're like, oh, this is so stupid, but it's like hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't.
you know,
see,
like
I don't. I don't have no interest in like casually watching anything unless it's like background noise while I'm having a conversation with someone, like, or whatever
Right.
it may be. I like when I sit down to like watch a show or watch a film, like I want to be like moved. I want it to be moving.
Have you seen Man in the High Castle?
No, I've heard it's good though.
That's a great example for me of like a show that's like amazing, but has one actor in there that I'm like, it's hilarious to me every time. Like it's so rough to me. But the whole show's incredible. Like other than this one character, it's like a good, like, I think you could get over that character
think
for
so?
the show because it's so good.
yeah.
It's so sick.
Is it on HBO or what is it?
I think it's on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Amazon Prime, yeah.
Speaking of which, actually, this is one of the questions that you had added. I'm just like segueing because I thought of it.
Do
is,
it.
What do you like to do outside of making music? Like, what do you do for fun? What are your
Video
hobbies?
games.
Yeah, what kind of games?
Big video. I've been playing
Sick.
Destiny a lot
Oh,
lately.
okay.
Destiny 2.
He's got a boner.
Let's go. Same. No, Destiny 2 is great. I used to play, like, Rocket League's probably the other game that I play
That's
a
fun as fuck.
shitload. Yeah.
Dude, I heard that is so popular right
It's
now.
hard.
Rocket League is like one of the
It's
most popular games.
So hard.
It's hard, but I think it's not perfect, but the ranking system is like decent enough to where you're not going to if you play a lot, you're going to generally get in with people around your skill. So you're not just going to be getting dunked on every time you go in into it. Like, it ranks you pretty decently, but the skill cap, like the ceiling
Crazy.
is so high that you can keep playing it and keep feeling like you're getting a little better, which I like. I liked the mechanical
Yeah.
games that make you feel like you're
That's cool.
working for something, kind of.
The crazy thing about Rocket League, I think, is because it's so popular and because, like you said, the skill gap that there is like, it makes it that much harder for people. Like if you'd never played Rocket League before, it'd be like you jumping into a Fortnite lobby. Like you're gonna get smashed.
Well, but that's where the ranking system does okay.
So
like
they do have really good. What is it called? It's skill gap. Yeah, they have good skill gap.
like like the rank of the what is the word for that?
There's a word. There's a game. What is it? Yeah.
There
Oh,
it
yeah,
is.
matchmaking.
Skill-based matchmaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple
Yeah.
words.
They do it's not perfect. You might
Yeah.
still get because people like to smurf a lot. I think the last
Whoa.
couple updates that they had, they
Dude, the
Smurf?
Smurfers.
What's
What's
a
that? What
Smurf?
is that?
So it's like going in and it's like somebody making extra accounts so they can like carry their buddies, you know? So that like it'll be somebody who's like a GC, like and it's super high level player who's like, I'll just make another account and like flub all my games. So I'm like in it bronze. So I can just like play with my buddy and we can destroy shit.
Oh
You know what I mean? So
gosh.
every once in a while you'll get in a lobby with that. At that point it's
Fucking
just
lame.
like you're just watching this dude do fucking circles around you and you're like, I'm just gonna sit here until the fucking clock runs out, I guess. I don't know.
Does anyone
crazy.
Forfeit.
does anyone else play UFC? No.
I love UFC. I used
game?
to play it. Yeah, there's people are really good.
I don't mean like,
Like
Play
like,
UFC.
as a game.
No,
like,
play, yeah,
I
play
don't.
the
I don't
video
like
game.
Right
to play
now.
against people because of that same reason. It's just like you get fucking worked because like
Yeah.
nobody like if you're like an entry level into that game, like all you're doing is like learning how to like punch people, and then you go into an actual match in a lobby with for
And they got
somebody,
strats
and they
shit.
take you to the ground, and you have no idea how to do anything in that game.
Yeah, you just
'cause
learn
it's
it,
impossible.
and then you go learn how to do it.
Yeah, but that's not like I need to have like at least a chance.
There's a training thing. You
No,
get
no, no,
trained,
no.
dude.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, you want to be
There's-
able to get in with other players who are at the same level
Yeah,
as you.
because that's like
Learn
it's,
together.
at least with UFC, it's like the people that play UFC also are fucking insane at it.
Yep, they're so good.
They have cool. They already. I don't know how they do it. They make these characters so like completely like expand a tattoo and give them all these crazy colors, like have a rainbow face or some
Really?
shit. Like, yeah, I'm not trying to fucking play with that dude, bro. I'm trying to
as soon as you see
Yeah.
the rainbow tat, you're like,
the-
I'm out.
Like
I'm gonna.
the
I'm
skin that
out.
they clearly made out of some. I don't even. You know what I'm talking about? Like you've seen those guys. Like
That's
they'll
so
make
funny.
a skin and they'll zoom in a tattoo and like make designs and shit on their face.
That's
I
crazy.
don't.
I'm out.
I don't do that.
That's wild.
yeah. I just pick a fighter I like and just send it.
Damn.
I mean, I'll play with you. Yeah.
You get knocked out, dude.
I like playing. So it's funny what you said about the skill matchmaking. I started. I used to play Fortnite quite a bit, like on PlayStation. And it was
yeah.
super fun, and it's so much fun to play with your friends.
Yeah.
And then it, obviously it was getting very, very big, and the skill based matchmaking stuff started happening, and it was really bad in Fortnite.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, all right, like every time I play, I'm just getting worked. If somebody's fucking cranking a house around me, and I'm like, I'm over here with
Cranking a
like,
house.
I can't find anybody. I'm stuck in a box, right?
And he's 40 stories up,
Yeah.
and you're like reloading. Still.
Yeah, it's like I just got here. So like now the skill bank matchmaking is a little bit better. So I actually recently jumped in and started playing.
Really?
And I started fucking working fools because I hadn't played in so long. I was like, oh shit, I'm good at Fortnite, right? And then
I was born for this.
Yeah, as soon as I got like 2 wins, I got put in that next sort of category. And then I started getting worked again.
Immediately.
So I'd be like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to lose a couple times so I can go back.
Knockback tank.
You were smurfing,
Yeah, I
dude.
was
You were
smurfing,
smurfing hard.
I didn't know that was possible.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I think I've only played 1 round of Fortnite, dude.
It's not
Honestly,
easy
same.
I don't like that game.
because it's hard to learn the controls. It's difficult.
yeah.
I
the
mean,
building
no,
is tough.
I don't know. It's just like I like games with like awesome graphics.
I get that. That's how I am with like. I got really into like building games, especially over quarantine, or like survival games. Like
Yeah, those are fun.
Like Ark, The Forest,
Yeah.
fucking all of these where you can like. I love the building aspect. I would literally just be like, okay, guys, you go fuck shit up. I'm just gonna build us a really cool base for
Yeah.
like 4 hours.
Wow.
And everybody's like, did you ever play Minecraft? And I'm like, no. But you'd love it, and I think it's because like it's the
graphics.
graphics. I can't get over like the blocky.
It's just so.
I thought
it's
the same
bullshit.
thing, but if you love those games, Minecraft is incredible.
Really.
Don't
Because-
get Danny started
Let
on
me
this,
just tell
dude.
you, we won't have to go the
Don't
whole
even
podcast.
get him
God.
started.
Let me
No,
tell you
I'm
why.
down. Hit me with it.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
tell you why Minecraft is great. Yes, the graphics are a little weird at first, but
Yeah.
you get really used to them.
Okay.
The thing about Minecraft is it's so fucking broken, right? That the things that you can do in the game, the mechanics are insane.
Oh,
So,
okay.
an Ark, what's like a resource that you need to get to build something that you might have?
Probably like wood or something.
Okay, so you could go and chop down a wood in Minecraft,
Yeah.
right? But Minecraft also has the ability to make machines that can essentially chop down wood for you, right?
Oh,
And you can
shit.
design and engineer these machines
God
so much to
damn.
the point that somebody was able to figure out how to build computers in Minecraft. So like it could do calculations.
pretty wild.
And then that's nothing. And then watch your fucking I can see your face right now. You're judging.
Yeah, I can see your face too, dude.
Listen, watch your tone. Somebody
Gonna knock you out, dude.
somebody made in Minecraft a computer that also played Minecraft. So like they were able to make
Inception.
inside the game the
Holy
ability
shit.
to make. And it was a shitty version. It was like really shitty, but
But
they
it
were playing
worked.
Minecraft in Minecraft and they did it themselves.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
What the
we're
fuck?
definitely in a simulation.
Dude,
is what I'm
after
trying to say.
after
That's crazy.
It's fun as fuck.
After
Wow.
meeting and hanging out with the creator of Minecraft.
Oh, yeah, you hung out with Notch.
Yeah, I've hung out with Notch a few times. It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Like that is possible in this game. After spending time with him, it just
He's
you're connecting
insane.
a lot of dots.
Yeah.
Right now.
It's just very
That's
very
so
much
wild.
like if you just want to build,
Yeah.
you could build and it's for me I haven't played actually in a long time, but for me it's a very very nice like creative sort of exercise and
100%.
flow and relaxation of like, okay, I'm not going to do music for right now. I'm going to build a house and it's
Yeah.
going to be beautiful, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that side of it.
Right on board with that.
Does
100%.
Notch design like Minecraft viruses?
Notch is the creator of Minecraft. What the fuck?
I feel like
Does
it's
he
all
create
your own-
viruses
this
for
joke-
people to download
he's
onto
doing a
their
bit
PC?
right now.
Joking.
Somebody probably
This-
could do
this
that. If they can
bit-
make computers, somebody could probably.
This bit's going so far over my head. Like,
So
Was
so
it
no,
not
I'll
good?
explain
Was
it.
it not
No,
good?
I'll explain it. So Danny plays Minecraft on the computer that we film into, like what we're doing over here. And and 2 days, I'm calling him out, dude. I'm calling him out. And 2 days ago, we're filming, and it crashes in the middle of like a dope video we're doing.
oh no.
And we can't figure it out. So we're trying to wipe the PC or whatever. And we don't know how to do PCs. Like we're Mac guys, you
Yeah.
know? And so you actually went in and you found the virus. And it was like a malware something with like Fortnite at the end or
And
Minecraft
I
or
tried
something.
to blame it on Diego.
Yeah, you tried.
It's like,
you.
oh, maybe they're watching porn on the PC or some shit.
yeah. You're like, oh, I'm just watching porn. Sorry.
Yeah, can you
It's
get
porn.
viruses
It's
from
porn.
porn these days?
Yeah.
That's
You don't?
So
It was
funny.
it was bad. But
I was
you-
downloading mods because you can in PC
Oh
games you
my
can use
God.
mods and
Oh,
mods
yeah.
are great.
Of course I
They
didn't get the
changed the
joke.
whole game.
It's
Skyrim.
amazing.
You play Skyrim at all?
No, I haven't, but I
Dude.
know it's amazing though.
Totally new game when you mod it.
Yeah.
Straight,
It's like it's crazy how people could do that. And I thought I was doing pretty good with the mods. I was like, yeah, I want this fucking mod that tells me how to build a circle and all this like crazy shit,
Yeah.
right? And Parker did have to have a talk with me about 6 months ago because I think it was like a downtime where we weren't working on a pack, or like usually when we finish a pack, I don't know how you feel like after you feel an album, like it's just you're dead.
Tanked. Yeah.
So I was just like, all right, well, like I'm just gonna get into Minecraft, and I would just get into Minecraft and
From zero. He never played it before. And you just
Oh,
wanted
no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is like a recent.
As somebody in their mid to late 30s got into Minecraft.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
And
Let's go.
I'm an
That's cool.
obsessive person, so I was very obsessively playing it, and to the point to where, especially if I was like trying to decompress after like a release, but it got to the point where Parker's like, "Yo, dude, like, hey guys, can you guys like leave the room?" And he's like, "Dude, you gotta cool on the Minecraft. You gotta cool on the Minecraft."
You can't keep doing that.
He's like, "Bro, like, we're not getting shit done." Like,
It started at 6 o'clock, like when we're done, and then it moved to like 5 o'clock, and then 4 o'clock, and then it's like lunch break, 2 p.m. He's on Minecraft, and I don't understand it because I like blowing shit up in video games.
Okay.
Like I'm a
Yeah.
shooter, like I like to do all that.
Similar to your movie taste.
And then
yeah.
yeah, exactly. And so like I couldn't understand it. You tried to get me into it, and I was like, I'm not really into that kind of thing.
Me neither.
It was
The
more about
zombies
the
were a little
fact
weird.
that like you as my business partner and
Oh,
as
yes,
my
that
friend was
too.
like, "Bro, you're playing too much.
Right.
Like, I
Yes.
need you. Like, we got to do some shit. We got to get some shit done."
I was like, go
100%.
play at home, dude. You got a PS5, bro.
And the whole reason I was playing at work was because I got the same conversation at home.
No way,
Yeah,
dude.
bro.
So
Wifey wasn't having it.
Well, no, I mean, I got obsessive. Like, and Parker's not wrong. Like, she wasn't wrong. Like, they were totally right. Like, hey, like, you gotta
Yeah,
like
chill
take
out,
a step
dude.
back, and I did.
That's good.
And
That's
you
good.
did.
I got clean and sober from my.
got clean.
Hell yeah. That's hard.
Can
That's hard
I
to do.
circle
Yeah.
back
Stuff.
really quick? I have an interesting question, and I don't mean to insinuate anything. I'm just curious. As the Said the Skies project started to blow up, and you're playing bigger shows, and you're going on bigger tours, and you're put bigger audiences, more fans. Did you ever like on a tour, like at the peak experiences? Did it ever like get to your head a bit?
No, not. Luckily, not really.
Cool.
No, I was always able to keep some sort of level-headedness with all of it, but it's also because of the people that I was surrounded with. All of my friends think like a very similar way. They're not in it for those kinds of reasons that would allow yourself to get a big
Cool.
head. I think like they just genuinely love music, and love doing cool shit with their friends. Like it was very easy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're a very humble, like down to earth person.
Yeah, you're-
was when
yeah.
first
I
met you,
always
yeah.
try to be.
I
I feel like
And in no way I was not trying to insinuate that I thought
No,
it would. I'm just
not at
curious
all.
because I don't know. I've known some people where things have happened, and I'm just like, oh, you're acting different.
I mean, I feel like it can be easy to.
Mm-hmm.
If
Sure.
you're like, if you are surrounded with people who like encourage that and be like, yeah, you're the fucking shit, never check you on anything,
Yeah.
and like your whole life is literally just everybody being like, you're killing it, dude. Yeah, what you want to do this? Fuck yeah, go do it. Like you're just getting yeses all the time.
Yeah.
It's different than having a crew who's like, yeah, they're gonna support you. It's not like they're dicks. Like they're gonna be like, yeah, you're doing a great job. Here's where you're not doing a great job. Like do more of this. Like play less video games, which is like something
Yeah.
that I needed. Dude, I've been grinding Destiny lately. I need to take a step back. Like that would be good for me, And I
Yeah.
have people close to me who are like, chill a little, And it's important to have that, and I think it naturally keeps your head a little.
Surrounding yourself with good people that you aspire to be like is
Yeah.
a superpower, pretty much.
Yeah, and you also I think the more people that you meet in the industry who are doing amazing shit and doing really cool shit, as soon as you meet somebody who has a big head and they start like gloating about shit, you realize that level of confidence that's like completely unnecessary and like unreasonable comes from like they're playing a fucking movie in their head while this is going on. It's not like they're not doing cool shit, but they think they're the best. It's like the difference between somebody who thinks they're the best versus somebody who's like, no, I'm good at it, but I still have so many steps to climb,
Yeah.
just like anybody.
It's very true. I think it's also like for somebody like at your sort of success level, I think in this industry, it's interesting to think about the fact of like, do you feel like I could say like in my own sort of experience, and our experiences, like I can tell when somebody is yesing me. And I would
sure.
imagine it happens a lot more at your sort of level.
It
like,
gets so tiring.
is it
Really?
obvious?
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, because it's obvious if you're in a room with somebody, you're a stranger to this person as well as all of your friends and all these other people, but they're deciding to treat you very differently. And even when it's so nice and they're just being super nice, it's so annoying because it's like, there's this other person right here who's just as much of a stranger to you as I am, but you're fucking putting me on this
pedestal
for nothing.
I haven't
for
thought
no
about it like
reason.
that.
It's like it's insane.
Wow,
It's good insight.
that's a whole.
absurd.
I have not
That's a whole
thought.
flip.
Yeah, there's a person to my right and a person to my left. They're right here. Want to speak to them too? They could be part of the conversation.
Exactly.
Like
they're-
that's
we're
very
all
interesting.
Just people here, and like that's the funny thing is like
Wow.
I feel like in our industry it's really easy to do that with people and put them on these pedestals and be like, "You're amazing." But if like think about that being in any other industry, like think about a doctor walking, which I'm sure this happens to an extent,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
think about a doctor with the ego of a fucking DJ who thinks that like it'd be nuts. Like that would be absurd. Like just walking around thinking they're the shit. Like that would blow your like. It doesn't really happen most other places on this level. I would assume. Like I'm sure somebody listening is like, no, I got a boss who's fucking nuts. But like I'm sure if they experience like the people that we interact with on a fairly normal basis, they'd be like, okay, maybe not. Maybe this is another level of like.
That's a really interesting insight, though. I
really is.
haven't thought about that way.
Yeah.
It's a whole flip because you normally watch people and how they react to strangers or people that can't help them. Then you know
Exactly.
if they're an honest person or a good person.
Right.
But like you just flipped it the whole other way, which is a comparison to
Yeah.
everybody else in the room.
Right.
You know?
Oh, but there's the people that go in maybe a little bit more manipulative and get in with the homies first.
That's
yeah.
tricky. So what's happened in the past with other, but like years and years ago when I was like doing this thing and would like meet girls through the scene and they, you know, they'd hit and I'd be like, oh, this is cool. And they would start being like, so like, what's Illenium like? As soon as that question
my
mark,
God.
Oh my
I
Get
get-
outta here.
And that shit happens.
Yeah,
like
but,
it, like
but also,
always.
how do they not know that
That-
that is not the fucking move?
Because at the time, I mean, I was fucking what we were in our like early 20s. Like
I
you're still
know,
a
but
kid
don't
for a
be-
lot longer of your life than you think.
I know, but
think,
that's
like,
ridiculous.
Yeah,
It
but you're
takes
killing it. You got girls talking to you. You're probably like, oh, he's really
No,
great.
I got a girlfriend. I got a girlfriend at home. I love her. She's amazing. Yeah. I'm, yeah.
And then just
Very
to
happy
tack
with
on
that.
it, also when you're hanging out with a bunch of people and this person's putting you up on a pedestal, giving you all the attention, it really makes it, on top of all the difficulties we just mentioned, it makes it really hard to decipher what kind of person this is, if this is a genuine person or not, right? You're like, oh,
Well, you know it's not.
Yeah.
At that point, you know it's probably not a genuine person. So you have to like, you got to figure out why are they not being super. If you care to, like I got to a point where I feel like I kind of like lost a lot of patience with those kind of people. As soon as I
Okay.
see somebody doing that, it's kind of like I don't
I'm
care
over
to
it
like,
already.
yeah, it's like, because I know anything that you're saying to me is probably nothing that you would say to anybody. Like you're giving me a very fake and like inflated sense of how nice you can be. And it's like, that'd be great if you were like that towards everybody and I could trust the niceness that was coming out of you, but I don't. I can't.
Some people can't tell either, too. Like some people really like. I've seen my it's a little bit different, but like my aunts and uncles, you know, they're like very successful, and they've worked with people. And when you have a lot of money, there's always a lot of people around you that
Yeah.
are definitely trying to somehow involve you in like either a business idea, and it always comes off as like not necessarily that they're like straight up like scammers,
Right.
But like I would see them like talking to people, and I'm like, that guy's gonna scam you. Like he's like, oh, I got a web guy. He's gonna like do IT for you, and we're gonna build up this code. You can't have the
Oh,
code, but and it's
man.
like the guy's wearing like a tracksuit and like, and I'm like, yo, like that guy,
Jesus.
like you know what I'm saying? Like you could tell, but I think sometimes when you're in it and you have people, because like we were talking about ego, it does feel really nice, especially if people are complimenting you all the time.
Yeah.
Especially if it's new to you. I think it's really tricky
Right.
to actually have to be able to sort of figure that out.
Right, because there is a balance. It's not, you're never gonna wake up one day and be like, I never need any more validation from
Right.
anyone. That's never gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
But then it's like figuring out, it's coming to the point where you can realize what is like real in people's value. Like when is somebody actually giving you a
I don't mean to get too nuanced on this, but okay, when you're a big artist, you have a lot of fans, right? So do you think it's fair that if you are meeting a fan that ends up hanging out in a more casual environment or whatever, like, okay, let them be a fan for a bit and let them have their moment and give them a little bit of a buffer period before I start analyzing and figuring out.
Well, no, that's different. That's different. I mean, if there's if you're meeting a fan, they're a fan. It's not the same as like walking into a room with somebody who works in the same industry or is like who just wants to be cool in the you know what I mean? Like,
I see.
There's a difference between like
distinction. Yeah.
If there's a fan, they can be a fan. That's awesome. I want to be a fan to like the people that I look up to in a normal way, not in like a crazy way, but in like a, hey, I'm a fan of your music. I really appreciate you. And there's just a way to do it.
Yep.
That's, I never overanalyze fans if they're cool. But there is a difference in fan. Okay, I say that and then I'm about to analyze a fan. So there is a difference between a fan who's fucking that's what, when you were like, I don't trust people at shows. But if somebody comes up to you and they're trashed, and they're like, dude, fucking greatest set. I'm like, immediately you're like, you're not gonna remember this when you wake up. Like versus like the dude who pulls you aside and is like, listen, like your music got me through a tough time, and they mention the one song that you or something, or just you can just tell in the way that they're speaking to you, like, okay, cool, this is cool. I like that you're really listening, and it makes me feel really good that my music did reach you on a level more than like I was a medium for you to party tonight. You know what I mean? Like I allowed you to get fucked up at this, which is, hey, the time and place for everything. That's great to be able to do that. And some people do it really well, but I come at it from a more like, I want you to listen to my music and like listen to it outside. If you put me on decks with a USB, I wouldn't know. I'm not a DJ. Like there's people out there who have playlists that they've learned and developed over years. They can read the crowd and be like, they're feeling this. I know how to make them party right now. Get up and have an amazing time. I'm not that guy. I'm just like, I only like play shows because it's the only way I can like put music out, you know?
I see.
So are you just in like the live section of Ableton?
Yeah, exactly.
And you're
it's
just
like
triggering
instead of like mixing, it'd be like playing piano over a transition to like key change it or something, you know, rather
that's
than
so
like
dope.
That's cool.
It's just different. It's not like some people are like, oh yeah, they like it sounds harder, but like to me, sometimes mixing sounds harder to, you know what I mean? It's just different. I put more time into playing piano, so I'm gonna do that live instead of being a because then I'm kind of like, I don't know. To me, it seems silly like DJing when it's like I know what song's coming next anyways, and I've practiced this transition 100. It's like the same as just like, might as well just like play piano. I'm doing the same amount of work. It's like
more work.
You know,
more work.
But it's not the same amount of work as somebody who just has a playlist that they're going in blind. They have no idea what they're gonna play. They're gonna play a set for a crowd, you know, and like that's crazy. That takes some weird talent that I do not have.
If I'm like at like a house party or something, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll pop the USB in and just jam out. But if it's a show, I'm not going in blind.
Yeah,
that's
you're gonna like
scary
it
as
out.
shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Dude, I kind of like, we were talking about your birthday.
Yeah.
Like because we're playing his birthday set.
Oh, hell
totally
yeah.
invited, by the way.
I would love for you to come if you're around.
Cinco de Franco.
Yeah. Nice.
Cinco de Franco.
When is it?
We're doing it May 4th. It's right around it. You're gone. You're not here.
Damn. Yeah. Wait. What? That's like
It's a Thursday.
No, I leave on Saturday. I live in Denver. I'm leaving on Saturday, and I'll be back for. But I'd love to come if I was here.
We're the headlining openers,
No
just so
shit.
you know. Yeah.
That's actually amazing.
We got the golden hour of 9 p.m.
Headlining openers.
I told you we need the validation.
So
Keep going. I have to pee really quick.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yo,
but keep going.
Quick pee. Yeah.
You want to take a little quick pee break?
Go for it. Yeah.
Pee
I'll go
break.
after you.
Yeah, peas are allowed.
Hell yeah.
So we were talking about like planning sets and stuff like that, and you know, you were talking about how like people like like have this sense of like when somebody's able to kind of go through and just like vibe a crowd and play. So Parker and I are getting ready for Frank's birthday, and we're about to play a set. And the couple times that we've done a couple sets, it has been very planned out. But this weird thing happens where every time we're just fucking around, we do the coolest shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's like this live sort of sense of like you're vibing the other person. And I'm not saying like, oh, like let's not like plan out the set, but I was like, dude, what if we just pick the songs and just go and just not like not like I feel like because there's something about where I'm like really like, okay, at least with DJing, like this is the next song, I need to come in right here, you know, and like
It feels disingenuous almost.
You know what I think it is it's probably Because you're totally right. Way cooler shit can happen when you're just going on the fly. Because it like opens up more doors.
Yeah, your creativity. You're letting yourself loose a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But then like you also have the risk of like trying something and it's like, oh fuck, that didn't work exactly as planned. So I think what it's probably just fear. Like that's probably why most people do plan their sets out, is like you aren't risking, like you know that the set's gonna go good.
Right.
It could go great. You know, there's a chance that the crowd fucking loves the set, but like you're not gonna fuck up when you plan out the set, right?
Yeah.
So you don't
Still
have that
could, yeah.
worry. You still could. You still
can,
could.
yeah.
But like the chance of that happening is so much lower than like,
yeah.
oh, I've never done these two songs together before. Let's see what happens. But like what you're risking is potentially fucking up, but your reward is like a magical moment
Yes.
that you could never get anywhere else. So, but I feel like maybe DJs, like when they get, most of them at least, for me, the bigger I get, the more that risk sounds scary. And I'm like, I'm for sure planning out all my shit. Like I'm
Yeah.
never gonna, just because like I'd rather, which it's kind of dumb, but it's like, I'd rather not fuck up and have a good set than like maybe risk fucking up. But that's just a choice thing, you know?
Totally.
It's
You
like,
do have the keyboards though, so that's like you still have that element of like playing
I
an
could
instrument.
fuck up some notes. Yeah, that's true. But
Yeah.
I'm also, this is probably the douchiest thing I'll say. I hope this is the douchiest thing I'd say. But like I'm pretty confident that I'm not gonna fuck up a key. There's a few times where I'll like write a piano part for like certain shows, like Red Rocks. I had a part that I wanted to write, or like the tour coming up. There's a part that I wrote that I was like, I want this to be a little. It's not insane, but it's a little more like technical than like most of the shit that I play. I could fuck that up for sure, but most of the time when I'm playing over songs and transitions, it's I know the piano well enough that if I know what key I'm in or that I'm going to, my hands are used to it. I've played it so many times.
Very
that
comfortable with it.
very comfortable. Yeah.
Muscle
exactly.
memory to the max.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I think for like us, like we used to be in bands and like I would fuck up all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I would fuck up piano all the time too, but it's like when you keep at that for years, because I've been playing for like fucking at least 15 years
Wow.
now, like
Sick.
a
So
little bit
cool.
every day, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not like fucking Beethoven. I can't shred piano, but I can play piano enough to where I know what I'm playing. I can kind of hear it in my head before I play it, in a sense. Like
that's so
for the
cool.
most part, you
Yeah.
know.
The only reason I plan sets is, and I'm not trying to flex here in any way, but when you go see DJ sets these days, I'd say 99.9% of them, they're playing a song, they're transitioning into the next song, they're transitioning into the next song, they're transitioning into the next song. I don't do that. I mean, obviously that happens in my sets a lot, but I tend to like try to build like pretty intense, keeping me busy routines.
Yeah.
Where
Right,
I'm like looping the vocal from the previous song, and then I'm cueing this in, and I have to cue it in here, else it's completely fucked.
Yeah.
And then I'm shortening the loop to match the build, and then I'm maybe like switching the basses back and forth, so it's like there's like a talk and response, and then I'm spinning it out, and then I'm trying to load up the next song to have an acapella ready to go over the drop in the next song. So it's like I try to like stay really, really busy while I'm up there, because I don't like the feeling of feeling like a glorified iPod. I really
Right, like
like
you're not doing,
I thrive on like doing stuff that like makes a difference and amplifies the experience.
Yeah.
So that's why, and it's like I literally, the way that I plan it, like I purposely plan it so that I at almost all times have something really important to do, and that if you can't do a set like that in that style without planning routines, it's impossible.
But how do you
Yeah.
like, for somebody like Parker and I, like we can DJ. I wouldn't say that we're
Yeah.
like good at DJing. Like we could play a show. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? This is like a newer thing that we're kind of like getting into. We're performers for sure, but like as far as like being comfortable on a DJ, how do you, or even you, like deal with the fact that if you are going to be super busy doing a part, but also be able to do like crowd control and talking to people, making sure that the filter is on when the microphone on, like that's the type of shit that like
That's probably
drives me nuts.
That's a time thing too.
Yeah.
Like where like the more and more you do it, the more like, but isolating everything, the more you do that filter thing, whatever it is, you know,
Right.
just an example. If you're doing a filter, the more you just do that and go to the filter, hit it, turn it off. Literally just something as simple as that. The more you do that, the more when your brain is like, oh, I should filter this down, it's just gonna all of a sudden it's gonna be filtered down, and you're gonna be like, oh, I just did it. I didn't have to think about
That's
it.
how it is
Muscle
for me.
memory.
I'm fully locked into that, and I find that me being busier for some reason actually helps me with crowd control. It helps me with crowd control because I feel like for me, I always want to be doing something to make a difference, right? And if I'm not super busy majority of the time, then I find myself making myself busy by getting on the mic too much, doing too much effects, doing loop rolls too much and ruining the flow. So it allows me in those times where there's a break in the action and I do have that time to step back and relax and vibe out with the crowd. That's when I do the crowd control stuff. And it actually evens it out perfectly for me.
That's a really good, having that balance is like, cool, I'm going to be busy here and choosing the times to do crowd control between. That's
when you guys
perfect.
first started using, like, for some reason, to me, the microphone is the scariest thing about a CDJ. When you first started using it, like, it's because you also, one, you don't want to say dumb shit. You want to look cool as fuck, right? And then also, two, you have to, like, the only way you can really practice it is, like, by doing it live. Like, we could practice in our studio. We have CDJs, but it's, like, not the same sort of sense. Like, did that feel, like, weird for you guys, like, getting used to that?
1,000,000%.
He's like, nah.
I literally have a little panic attack before a show when someone tells me that they're not giving me a mic.
Damn.
I literally am, like it is
know.
literally like integral to the way that I perform. Like
Yeah.
I absolutely feel like I need it, and I've never thought about what I was gonna say before for it to sound cool. My first show ever, I just grabbed the mic and
Just went for it.
I don't know. I feel like I need it.
Yeah.
We're also lucky because it's both of us up there. So
Yeah.
one of us is DJing, and then the other.
We've been trying to figure
is-
that out, too.
Yeah, because like Dubs, when we see them perform, like they switch sometimes, and one dude is just like on the
yeah.
stage, just yelling and going
lead
crazy,
singer.
running around everywhere, like giving high fives, like
Straight
going
MC.
wild, like it's like a rock show. And then the other brother is like DJing, and then he comes back up and he's doing some shit on the CDJs. Like it's like very energetic and exciting. So I think two people, it's like you're lucky, you know.
Yeah.
It's huge.
But it's also hard because we've been trying to figure it out for us too. Like we finally figured out, like, oh, we shouldn't just go one song into each other.
Yeah.
We should play two songs.
Yep.
And then we're like, this last time I was like, dude, what if we played 4 songs?
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, then one of us could be on the mic. You know what I mean? But I think there's like, when you're at least like, I think musical, it's like both he and I want to be like touching the machine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
cause it and then, you know, it feels, otherwise like it feels weird.
That's what I'm saying.
Like you'll pretend, like everybody pretends, right? Do you all pretend at some point to be like you're doing something when you're not, when you have no dead moment? You're too busy.
Hot hands, dude. Hot hands.
100%.
Fuck yeah.
You know,
But you
Henry
know
hot
what?
hands.
You know what?
I never
The more
do
that I
that.
think about that is like I think it can relate to productions a whole lot when you're like writing a song. Like it's very easy as a sound designer or a production art, like somebody who produces as their main, like rather than like a songwriter or something, to want to overproduce everything. And like I feel like I just need to be adding more because I need like it. If I'm
Yeah.
not adding more, I'm not doing enough work on the production. It's not going to be good enough.
Right.
Whereas sometimes the best thing is like yanking like 40% of the shit that you just added. That sounds cleaner and better. Sounds way cooler. Yeah, you did way less work on it, but it's better.
Less is
you know,
more,
and like
baby.
allow it to be better for the sake of like people thinking you do. Who gives a fuck? Like
It's a great
whatever.
point.
Like,
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
like, if it's good and it's enjoyable and you're listening to it and it sounds good, then like you did it. That's the goal. You're done.
With
Like,
sets
cool.
and music.
Yeah.
DJ
Yeah.
set, live set, music, it goes, yeah, 100%.
I think we freestyle it, bro.
I know.
think
So that's what we were going back and forth
listen,
about.
you guys are playing at 9:00 at my
Headlining.
at my birthday
The
party.
golden hour.
At my birthday party in like a cute little venue. If there's anywhere to fucking
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
freestyle and have a good time and
Yeah.
just go for it, this is the fucking place. So
Headlining
definitely-
openers, baby.
Definitely
Let's
do
do
it. Definitely do it.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna pick all the songs and be like, okay, like these are the songs. And I know that he has like he likes to pick out like specific
like,
moments,
blocks.
like 4 songs that he's gonna do like something cool in.
Yeah. Little
But-
routines.
Yeah. And then as long as I
Hell
don't
yeah.
play his little routines, I'm just gonna fucking pick whatever I'm feeling.
it.
I'm just gonna go for it, bro.
Do
I
it.
feel
Yeah.
like it's better.
It's gonna be fun.
Do it.
It's
gonna
more
be a lot
fun.
of
It's
fun.
for sure more fun.
Please like videotape this whole thing.
Yes.
It's just so I can
Oh, for
watch
sure.
It. It
Yeah.
sounds amazing. Yeah, I would love
Yeah.
to watch this.
We got a bunch of good friends on the lineup. It's gonna
Yeah.
be fun.
I got a couple good one-liners on the mic too that I'm saving, but
See,
And
maybe
we have some surprises for you too.
Oh, what?
oh yeah, we do. We have one surprise for you.
Yes.
Really?
Ooh.
Birthday surprises.
Get
Oh,
excited
shit.
or scared.
Yeah.
Both.
Bro, these sounds suck. I can't work this dropout, dude.
Shh. He doesn't know that I know this super secret serum hack. Watch this.
What is that? What did you just do?
Dude, it's a one-button drop, baby.
Let me see this right now.
XLNT Sound's brand new preset pack, Drops Only Volume 3, is out now. It includes 100 of the best drop-ready basses, little to no processing needed. No plucks, no pads, just bass. Go to XLNTSOUND.com to pick up your copy today. And don't forget to use code TheXLNT for 10% off your purchase. Let's get you back into the video.
So, as far as what you're working on now, like I know you've been at the studio. Can
Yeah.
we talk about what you're working on?
I
or-
mean, yeah, it's nothing crazy, to be honest. It's a little bit of like what I was talking about earlier, which is like some of the stuff is turning into stuff for Set the Sky project. Some of it is just for pitch, because that's what I'm having a lot of fun doing lately, is like writing for other people and yeah, helping them with their stuff. So it's a little bit of everything.
nice.
So you're about to go on tour.
go on tour.
Do you have like an album in the works or like some new stuff just here and there?
No, not really. Yeah, nothing new. It'll be new stuff here and there, working with some like other people. Got some collabs that I'm
Cool.
working on. Yeah, that are really fun.
I really like
yeah.
that you work with a lot of people.
Yeah, me
It
too.
seems like
it's
I got
very fun.
I got lucky to be in a Timberland session once, and like there was 10 fucking people in there,
Jesus
all doing
Christ.
something. And every time I see you here, you always have somebody here. And we were having a conversation with like another like DJ, and they were just talking about how like it's so much. They're at a point where they need to work with other people because they can't work by themselves anymore. And I love how you embrace that part of
Totally.
essentially of your project. Like, what do you think about that is really sort of helping your creativity? Like, is that like, do you find it hard to produce by yourself at all? Like,
No, I think it just changes my attitude towards music in general and towards my own creation process, just in the sense of like, going into a session with other people, you have to go, it's a muscle like anything else that you got to work. You have to learn how to work with other people, where to give and take. And some people go into a session with like not enough. I've done that. I've done everything I'm about to say I've done, which is why I've learned this stuff, is like
Yeah.
you can go into a session with not enough and be too passive and just be like, yeah, do everything. Go for it. It all sounds good. And too like, yes, man. You can also be too like, no, we should do it this way. No, what if it did this? And what if it did this? Where you're just kind of like lock it. Like, okay, if you're going to do that, stay at home and do this shit yourself. Like if
Yeah.
you know what song you want to write, do that by yourself, you know? But if you're in the room with other people, get excited about the idea that something's about to happen that you couldn't do by yourself. Like, everybody's going to contribute something, and everything that they contribute, you probably wouldn't have thought of.
Yep.
And allow that to be a thing. Even if it's not exactly what you were thinking originally, just say, like, fuck yeah, if you were excited about this, if you wanted to add this and you like it, I like it. Like, let's go. Like, this is cool. But if they're like, there's also a difference between that and like somebody just trying something like, is this cool? You can answer honestly. If it's not cool, like, no, I'm not really feeling that. Let's try something else. But if they're like, yo, what if we did? And you can tell they're excited about it, run with it. Like, fucking let them do that. Let them add it. you
Yeah,
know?
that's great about like how to collab with other
Yeah,
people. Like
man.
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know how to do that, you
It's
know?
hard.
I'm
They-
pretty bad at it, but
It's hard.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
bad
they
at
get
it.
nervous and then
I
they,
get nervous as fuck.
they either go too
That-
crazy or
The nerves is a huge thing that everybody has, but dude, you gotta learn. It's so it's amazing. And I get it too.
hate
This
it.
is another easier said than done thing.
Yeah.
There's this dude, Lil Aaron. He's
Yeah.
another songwriter in the space.
Yeah,
Amazing
he's awesome.
dude. He's the epitome of confidence in a studio.
Really?
He's just having fun. He gets in there and he's writing cool shit. And he's like, fuck yeah, do you want me to play drums on this shit? You want me to fucking sing? I'll go like cut some like melodies for us. Or,
So
like, He'll
sick.
just do it all. And it's all really fucking good. It's all cool, you know? I'm like,
Yeah.
I think it's also cool because he just goes into it with such a like, I'm gonna just do this. Like,
Yeah.
and like, cool. If you don't like it, cool. Fuck it. There's a million melodies in the world. We're gonna land on one that's like
that's so
neat.
awesome.
And that's how every session should be. And even though it's never going to be like that 100% of the time, that's how everybody should be in a session. It's just like, cool, we're having fun writing a song right now. Your ideas are just as valid as my ideas.
Yeah.
Always. Like every person in the room is just as critical to that process there. You know.
Once again,
Yeah.
easier said than done.
For
No.
sure.
I'm saying what I'm about to say
Oh,
is
okay,
easier
okay.
said than, but true. Yeah, it goes both ways. But I think like the way I like to put it simply is just, I think the biggest superpower when collaborating is take your ego out of it. What's the best for the song?
Big time.
What is going to
Yeah.
be?
Yeah.
What is the best decision we can possibly make that's going to make this song better or
Yep.
the best it could be? And it's that simple, I think.
Yeah.
But sometimes Parker and I have learned to collab with each other. Sometimes you each might have different opinions on what you think is best for the
I know.
song.
I knew
True.
that was coming.
And it's really hard to really take your ego out at that moment because it's like, well, I know better that this is better for the song. So I wonder for you, like, are there moments where you're just like, I can't let that go? Like, like if it's like part of a song, even though your friends
That's a great
vibing
question.
and it's
You
like,
know
Great
what?
question.
Honestly, I think in the past more so than recently.
yeah.
I think like, just because of the approach that I've been taking towards music lately is way more like fucking free spirited, man. Like, but like
Yeah.
that's
Dope.
the best way to put that, even though it's really like a strange way to put it. But
So does
I
it just
thi-
eat at you like that? There's like you're just like
no, because honestly, just because I don't, it's the realization that I have no fucking idea what is best for music. I don't know. Like, I think I know. There's a lot of days where I'm like, this is the best choice.
right.
But if I ask myself, if I like ask past self, did you really know if that? Fuck no, it's never. I never know. I don't think anybody really knows what's best. They think they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No one
I don't
knows.
know. I've been
What
going.
about? Sorry, finish.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say I go back and forth on that a lot though too, because even though I dislike it most of the time, and I feel like it's good to allow anything to happen and be excited about just about anything, you also, I think it's important to have people that are like, I want this. Like,
Right.
I have a vision, and this is what's, even if it's not what's best for the song, this is what's best for their song that they are a part of, right? You know, for them. I think it's important to still have that.
It's great advice.
So it's
man.
a weird,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, it goes so many ways.
it does. It's such a fucking. I also just get in my head about this shit all the time.
People
I let
love
it-
hearing about this shit. This is a great convo, man.
Yeah,
yeah.
it sounds like there was like kind of a maturity
Yeah.
that you and probably all of us have to go through to get to that point of like, does this really need to be this way or sound like this?
Right.
Or are we going to get there somehow?
Right.
You know, and you're trusting the process and you're trusting like the collaborator's judgment on what's actually going on.
Right. The only fear that I have with that mentality and what I have to learn and what I probably will over the next like year or so is making sure that it is just an allowance of other people's ideas versus like complacency and just being like, I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck. Cool. Sounds cool. Let's do it.
I see.
Because
Yeah.
there's a fine line
Yeah.
between those two things.
Yeah.
And I
Wow.
like, that's what I'm scared to get to that point where I'm just like, fuck it. Doesn't matter at all. Because I
Yeah.
could see how easy it would be to get there.
For sure.
You don't want to get
But-
too passive.
Exactly. Yeah.
That happens sometimes when you're mad at the person because
Yeah.
Yeah.
fine, fuck it.
Well,
Then you're
yeah,
out,
fuck
you're
it.
checked
Hey,
out.
You win. Whatever. Yeah.
It's happened to us.
Yeah.
For us,
Dude, it happens
is.
to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
for me, I think it's mainly notes. Like if I hear something in my head and I think a note is quote unquote wrong, like in my head, it's like it should not go there. And and for somebody like you who knows probably music theory, you went to fucking Berklee. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You understand the piano.
Yeah.
Is that ever something that you like?
It's
like-
got to be real bad for me to be like,
like,
that shouldn't go there. Because I just think because it's so opinion. I've heard so much music and written so many
Yeah.
songs now that it's like any melody could be fucking anything at this point. You know, there's no like you change 1 or 17 notes. You know, it's
But the feeling though that you might be going, that makes sense because you've done so many
that's
songs.
true. There will be a couple times. Yeah, no, that is a good point. There will be a couple times where I'm like, you should hit this one note, but it's generally small. It's
Yeah.
generally small notes. It'll be like a note, 1 or 2 notes. But if it gets to the point where I feel like I'm changing the whole melody, then it's like, okay, I'm just writing my song now, and it's turn. You know. But if it is like one note here or there, yeah, no, I do that every once in a while. Yeah.
Do you mostly work on like skeletons, like when you're writing, and then you kind of like add the production afterwards,
Big
after
time.
you have like a full idea?
Big time, yeah. That's a big thing with working with other people too, is learning how much to do right there and how much to save for later. Because if you're working with a song like a lyricist, like
Yeah.
if I'm in with Brian, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, cool, give me like 7 hours. I'm gonna like get this part produced out real fast. Then he's just like, cool, I guess I'll just fuck off and like see you in a week. You know, like
Yeah.
it's best to like, cool, let's get a chord progression, track it fast, get it looped so they can just get in their zone. Even if you're like, there's a lot of times where I'll be in a session just sitting there doing nothing. I'll just be listening to what I did, like the loop that I just made, which is one guitar track.
Yeah.
But that's fine. It's allowing them to do the work that they need to be doing in their head and like in their space to like write.
It gives them space too to be free. It gives them a lot of room to mess around and figure out what they're doing, and because it's not cluttered.
Yeah, and for us, like when we're doing our thing, we'll sit there, fucking going through all these things. Like if they're hearing that shit, trying to remember the loop that you put in, it's like, where the fuck am I? Like I don't know what I'm listening to. I don't know how to get inspired right now because I'm just hearing like fart noises reverbed out. You know, like. It's
Fart noises.
Yeah, you got to figure out when to like step back and let them work, and then when to like, okay, cool, maybe this isn't enough. If I add I have an idea for 2 tracks that I could add that'll like put it like in the space that should help inspire some more ideas, maybe you know, without being like it needs to be a fully produced out thing, you know.
I think that makes sense why you're such a good songwriter. I think because the fact that you've written so many songs that you've gotten to a point to where you're just okay with this song is this moment, and then tomorrow's a new song, and that's the next song, and there'll be, in a sense, like, I don't want to say content, obviously, because you obviously keep working those ideas and you make them really good, but
Right.
I know, like, when I first started producing, the first song I made, I spent like 7 months on. I was like,
for
this is
sure.
gonna blow.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this is the one. And as I've gotten further in my career, like with writing or with like even with like the excellent stuff, it's like it definitely gets to a point where it's like I still have that a little bit, and I thought that I had that kind of like figured out. I'm like, but it's interesting because like the way that you're sort of communicating it is just like it doesn't. It matters, but it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to get through this, make the song what it is, let the person write, like create the sort of fundamentals, and be okay if you think it sucks for a while. You know what I mean? Like that's so hard to do.
It's hard to do. Be
That's
okay
like a
with
whole
it
nother
sucking
level.
for a bit.
But
yeah.
that's where, so I just spent so much time figuring out exactly what I like to do with guitars. The guitar I like to play because of the sound, the mic that I like to, the C214.
Yeah.
Like literally doing that in this studio, I was like, I don't have to do shit to this guitar. I can track it, throw an EQ on it, hard
Done.
pan left and right.
Yeah.
Write a vocal and put the vocal on it, and I can listen to that and love it, and it sounds
That's
great
amazing.
to me. And so that was a good way. Like I have a very simple, easy process for how to get a skeleton kind of knocked out.
You
You
got
know what
that
I mean?
locked in.
Exactly. So like I won't think it sucks. I'm gonna think it's cool. No, it's definitely not done. It needs a lot of production around it. But as a song, I can listen to that and enjoy it, which means I'm going to be able to definitely enjoy the final product. you
Yeah,
know?
man.
Like if you start, if not, you're kind of just polishing a turd. Like if it,
Yeah,
if
impossible.
You
Can't
if you-
polish a shirt.
Yeah, if you're just listening to it and you don't like it as a song, it's not going to be a good song, which doesn't mean it can't be a cool, like, tune to jam. You can still produce it out and it can be an amazing production, but it might not be, if it's not a great song from the start, you're probably not going to like the song aspects of it once it's done, you know?
Yeah. Have you ever had like a song that was like you knew is like so good, it's amazing, but like you couldn't get like the production or the right like sounds behind it to make it into what you have in your head? And you
Yeah,
ke-
that's such a every once in a while. The skeleton. Treading Water was a really good example of that, where I had
Really?
that was Jake Torrey, I believe, and I got the top line. It's totally separate. I just had that top line sent to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is I sat on it for like a year or two before I was like, what can I do that can like add to this? Because I don't know. I have no. It wasn't even like I had an idea and I didn't know how to do it. It was just
Yeah.
like I don't know how to not only elevate it, but like even compliment this more than it's already being complimented. Just his amazing voice and the simple, like, I think it was just a guitar underneath it at the time. sounded so good, and I was like, I don't know how to make this better than it is. So,
Yeah.
and I don't to this day, I don't know if it turned out better than the demo, you know, but like I at least found something that I enjoyed and I can listen to and feel like proud of it, and it sounds like a good song that I enjoy. But
I have a question that I'm trying to make sure I ask every guest. When you're dealing with like horrendous writer's block, what are your methods to get through that?
writers, well, either fucking, and this is the least productive thing, video games.
Okay.
Just like,
Nice.
and not just playing video games, but like fucking play don't think about music. Don't think about the fact that you're not working on music. Go play video games or watch TV or like get outside. Go do something, like whatever it is you decide to do. It can be anything. Just don't think about music at all.
Okay.
Because then you're not like recharging that battery. You're kind of just like trying to do music shit while you're doing so. It's like tiring when you do it that way.
Yeah.
So anything other than music, or if you really are just like, no, I need to be productive, then like do technical, like go on YouTube, find tutorials, like work your technical muscle rather than your creative muscle. You know, learn how to make another sound so that when you come back in 2 days and you're like, I got an idea, just watch the video on how to make this. Fuck yeah, it's gonna save you time later. You know?
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Super cool, man. I think it's really like interesting. I think for people that are watching, I've always thought like as somebody that was like doing, you know, starting my music career is like, do the people that I look up to think the same way? Like, did they question themselves? Do
For
they
sure.
feel like,
oh right, yeah,
you know, because so
100%.
I always try to like really convey that, like at least from my perspective, and to hear like other people like you, you know, with an amazing amount of success, to be able to sort of get that sort of honesty is like, I think so. I know it would have been. It's still valuable to me now, but
Yeah,
like in the
definitely.
very beginning was like so valuable. I just wanted to know that I wasn't alone in the fact of like, I bang my head against the wall trying to write a drop sometimes, you know, like I struggle.
Everybody does that
Hates
shit.
Yeah.
the drops,
Oh,
dude.
my
Yeah.
I hate 'em.
God.
I love them, but I hate them.
Yeah.
You know, it's the most important. It's the most pressure. And when we were talking about like collabing, the one point that I wanted to bring up that I thought was really interesting is when it comes to like even with writer's block too, there's also a sense, and you guys might feel differently on this, where like I think Parker and I, for some reason, we do really well under pressure, or at least we tell ourselves that.
Me too.
So if I get
King
in a
of
session with
procrastination.
somebody
Yeah.
like that's like really, really like fucking good and I want to impress them, I just like put my head like on like I have to perform and I'm just gonna do it. And it's like
Yeah.
and then I just kind of just let go, and it usually ends up working out. You know what I mean? It's the timidness that like fucks you.
Right.
I crumble.
For us, it's the camera. When we turn the camera
yeah.
on and we have to
It's
produce
go
something
time.
in 30 minutes,
Practice.
like we have to do it.
Yeah.
And then that really helps. And then like sometimes when we have to make a song for somebody or for ourselves and we just sit down, we're like, all right,
What
like,
do you
I
fucking
guess.
do?
Yeah.
You know what I think it is? I bet you it's like when you have to do it in front of somebody or in 30 minutes being the perfect example, you then you have like a fallback that's like, well, I only had 30 minutes. So even if it's like, you think, even if it turns out rough, there's an excuse
got an
that you can.
excuse, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like if you have all the time in the world and it's yours, it's like, I can't fuck anything up because I have no reason not to. When really, like, you're probably not gonna fuck it up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be fine. But you have this idea that's like, it's gotta be perfect because if somebody points a finger, I don't have a reason why it's not. You know?
Yeah.
We're all just trying to like hide the fact that we think we suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
I don't hide it. I fucking say it.
No, don't.
No, don't say it.
You
I
can't
mean,
say it.
whatever.
You can't say it. If you could say it to other people that are like maybe that you're like working
You
with,
guys,
but if
and
you could
every
say it to
single
me.
viewer ever.
You could say it to me, and I'm like, yeah, Frank, I think I suck too. You know what I mean? But when
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
in that session of collabing with whoever that person is, you start saying you suck. They're gonna be like,
I'm
all right,
not
well, maybe
doing
I'm
that.
not
I'm not
working.
like,
You
yo,
also
can't
have
wait
to-
to work on a song just so you know I suck. I don't do that.
Well, you also gotta like trust the time that you've put in.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta trust your skill level to a point.
Yeah, no, I
To
for
a
sure,
level.
do. I'm just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, I think it's just, hanging out with fucking Val. You're like, oh, I don't know anything.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's so wild.
Look at how many other producers are. I mean, and no offense to Val, but like how many other producers that maybe aren't as technically good as Val are just fucking
all of
killing
them?
it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's
Totally.
crazy.
It's also that like comparison thing. Like
sure.
you cannot compare
Stop
yourself,
comparing yourself to other people.
somebody else that they're not you and you're not them. So like there's no two humans that are exactly alike. So
100%.
you know, you're just gonna, you know, be depressed all the time if you compare yourself.
Yeah.
Like I always thought about like Skrillex, you know?
Yeah.
He popped off like when like he was 16 when he was
2010-ish,
getting
right?
something going. And, you know, however old he is now, it's like there was a time where I was comparing myself to those kinds of people. Like
Right.
I'm
comparing
25, like, oh fuck, I gotta
Oh,
like
yeah.
do something like I'm 26 now, like fuck, Skrillex already did this and like, you know, and like it's hard. And
Yeah.
I got over that, but like there was definitely a time where I was like super comparing myself, like, you know. We all have our own journey.
I find myself falling into that every once in a while still, and I'm like, wait, snap yourself out of that. That's not how it works. Don't do that.
There's also I think there's a good balance to be struck there too, where you like because without that, if you had no comparison at all, you'd have like no.
Reference.
Yeah, you'd have nothing to like strive for. Like having like Skrillex as a reference is an amazing like goal. Like,
Yeah.
I would love to do some shit like that.
Yeah.
Without knocking yourself when it doesn't happen, because what are the chances of that happening?
Right.
So fucking low. But
Yeah.
it gives you like some motivation and like, cool, I have a goal and like a trajectory for what I want to try and get to.
If you're not trying to get too far, you will never get far enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think
Shoot
using it
for
as
the
inspiration.
moon. Even if you miss, you land among the stars. But it is true.
Inspiration.
I mean, it's
We have like this sort of like part in the podcast where we kind of like start to ask a little bit, you know, silly questions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
yeah. We've had enough serious. It's time to
Yeah.
get silly.
Yes.
Okay, so you know, first things first.
Hit me.
Who's the hottest guy in EDM? Just
I have no fuck.
Gotta pick one.
most beautiful man in E EDM.
Putting the
Most
pressure on.
Beautiful man and eating. Cashmere is pretty beautiful.
Oh,
He's
that's
got a
a
good
new
jawline.
one.
He does.
Wow.
There's
Shiny
one.
hair.
Yeah.
Shiny hair. Great hair.
Yeah.
Great hair.
Nuts.
Who did Ghastly say?
He said joyride when
Yeah.
he smiles.
When he
Yeah.
smiles, he likes to smile. And then Nate said Troy Boy.
Yeah, Nate, that was
Oh,
a really
that's
good,
a good one. That's a
Troy
good
boy.
one. It's a
And
handsome
Bentley
motherfucker.
thought we were Pixel Terror thought we were asking like who's like the biggest like who's really hot right now in the
Not
scene.
two, and
Yeah.
ISO XO are doing pretty good.
Like who's popping off?
That's gonna be such a good clip. Everyone's gonna be like, what?
So
You know?
okay, so that was one of the questions.
They're kids.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know.
It's gonna get canceled.
Okay, so the other question.
Wait, he
is-
didn't. He didn't.
Yeah, he
take it?
did.
Cashmere.
Oh, Cashmere. Yeah,
Cashmere.
yeah,
You
yeah.
were paying
Sorry,
attention,
sorry,
bro.
my bad.
Listen to the hot guy.
My
fucking
bad, dude.
That's an important part of the pod, dude.
Yeah.
Save it for it.
The golden nugget. If there's one takeaway.
Yeah. Okay, so the other thing I want to ask you about is, you know, there's a certain producer that you might have worked with before that has a very interesting crowd participation at their shows. And since you're sort of in that same lane, I just want to know: are people butt fucking at your shows too?
Oh my god.
Good build up, Danny. Good
That
build
was. I was like crowd participate because at first I was like obviously Illenium. Then I was like,
That was a great build up.
and then I was like, oh okay.
Are people butt fucking to Sad Boy
Luckily,
music?
I have not caught
Yet.
anybody butt fucking yet. Yeah. I feel like Fireflies just isn't conducive to butt fuck, you know, it's not that kind of vibe.
That's fucking funny.
I had to ask you just because of, you know, I would be, you know, like,
You gotta know. That's an important
that's
question.
an important question. You know, like
Yeah.
when like Barbara Walters does her like questions and they ask like the hard hitting questions.
Yeah.
Like, that's a hard hitting question.
That's
I need
one
to
of
know
them.
are people fucking getting down at your show?
I would want to know.
Yeah.
If somebody sees this and they're like, "No, I did," then
I
tell
did,
me.
yeah.
I want to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're probably like, what are they doing there? Like crying, right?
Exactly.
They're
Yeah.
crying.
I would assume.
Yeah, there's a lot of crying at
Hugging,
yours.
There's some
kissing.
crime.
That's
That's
cool.
fucking awesome.
It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that what you're playing for those people at that point have such an emotional connection that
Yeah.
they shed tears.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking
Shows
awesome.
in general are just wild because like it's so funny like with where I'm at I'm not like an EDM artist really, you know,
Yeah.
like if you like when I'm at EDC playing a show, I always feel a little like
Really?
yeah, like on the tame side of everything as far as like, and like the sets are a little more like, it's not just fucking go time.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's not that that's right though. Like I think like dance music exists for a reason, and it's for the party. Most of the, you know, like people do go to EDC and like dance shows a lot of the times to have a party and have fun and like dance and be walloped with sound, and like there's a lot of reasons why, and I feel like a lot of those reasons don't exist in my, so it's weird. But I'm also not just straight up like a country or like a rock show, you know, like a fan of rock music going to my show would be like, this is a little too electronic, you know. I'm like at a weird in between where I feel like
I love that about you.
I think
cool.
I think it's awesome.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
I'm
also
glad you think. I always feel weird about it. Not in like it's super unique, but in like a weird way where I feel like I don't know where, like how to, it's hard to like market, like come to this EDM show doesn't work because they're expecting one thing. Come to this rock show doesn't work because they're expecting one thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
You can also look at the other side of the coin, though, because a lot of people would say that these festivals, when it comes to the sets, are decently repetitive.
Yeah.
And you are a breath of fresh air in this semi-repetitive place, which is also a really cool way to
I
look at it.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's cool to hear. Yeah. I
Yeah.
like that.
and like people like getting down and just like crying at your sets too. Like there's been other like not that you're similar to them, but there's been other artists that I feel like have been able to also do that in the EDM scene. Like
tons.
Cascade, like
Oh, yeah,
people like go
absolutely.
nuts over that shit. Like
I don't think people
like,
are crying at Cascade.
Yeah.
Really?
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
heard?
Wow.
Have you heard those vocals, dude?
No, I have.
even
but,
like probably
you know.
like
Full shit.
Prids too. In a
Oh,
way. Like
100%.
people,
Oh, yeah.
like,
I feel like
just
a lot
get-
of the like progressive house stuff and like trance. I feel like there's definitely a crowd.
Flume,
Like,
Porter.
Yeah, people
Porter,
cry.
Porter.
People are crying in those at the
Yeah.
those audiences.
So like I think it's not like that like crazy to think of like somebody like crying at one of your shows per se, because I think
Yeah.
that is awesome. But also going back to like doing essentially what like is genuinely you, like who you are, I think the fact that you are able to place yourself in your own sort of lane that maybe doesn't fit here or fit there, but they kind of all work sort of together, is actually a really, really beautiful and beneficial thing for you. You know what I'm
Sweet.
saying?
Fuck
Because
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
like that is 100% who you are. You're like, I just end up making, you know, like like sad, like sort of love songs and
Right.
like or like emotional songs and melodies and chord, because that's what gravitates you.
right.
And it has such a big impact that it can reach people in EDM. It can reach people in rock. It can reach people in the pop world. So
yeah, the crossover potential is pretty significant. Yeah.
but I can understand how you're like, sometimes you're like, well, like, do I need to be like more, like, do I need to do more? Like, I would be doing the same thing. Like, am I
100%,
like,
yeah.
am I like can I write a banger?
Right.
Like, you know, like,
Yeah.
can I write like a metal song if I needed to, you know? Like, so
Yeah.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
But that's
Totally.
the fact that you're in your own lane is completely authentic is what I'm trying to say.
Hell yeah. Dope. Well, that's cool.
I
Would,
love
would you want to
Hell
do
yeah.
like
That's
a?
awesome.
Would you ever want to do like a DJ set, like just straight up CDJs and a mixer and like a microphone and a guitar?
I think it would suck. I really do. I just don't have an ear for that stuff.
And it's
really.
unauthentic to you. So
Yeah.
you're not
Right, and it's like I don't spend enough time in that space. I think that's a big part of it. Like DJs who come up and they go to shows like that all the time.
Yeah.
They go to clubs like on the weekend. Like that's what's fun for them, is going to things like that and experiencing that, taking that and then becoming a DJ. It's like, cool, I've already been in that. Like you're tuned into that in a sense. You have a sense of what a night out should feel like. You're just on the other side. Whereas for me, I don't go out. I don't do shit. Like my perfect night is like at home with some Bonchon, like playing video games. Like that sounds amazing to me. Bonchon, by the way, if you don't know what it is, amazing Korean fried chicken.
Oh, I'm in.
Oh,
I
I thought it
love
was a
Korean
drink.
fried chicken. Is it?
No,
is it,
no,
is there? Is it in
delicious.
Denver?
No, I think there's one here.
Bonchon.
Yeah, Bonchon.
I'm going.
Bonchon.
Like
I'm in.
Korean barbecue, but chicken.
Just Korean fried chicken. Sorry.
Dude, they make the
It's
crispiest
like-
chicken ever.
Think like just fried chicken, but it's like delicious. Like, it's super crispy. They have like they have like their classic, which is like not really flavor. It's still good, but then they have spicy, and then they have garlic soy. The move is you do half and half. You get like the spicy and the garlic soy, and then you get a side of their like spicy mayo shit.
Oh my god!
What?
And you just dab it a little bit.
This couldn't be more up my alley.
That sounds delicious. I want to have
I
some.
love
going.
chicken.
Bonchon is the name of the chain.
Bonchon dinner for my birthday?
Yes.
Let's go.
Oh, let's do it.
Bonchon, thank
Let's
you
do
so
it.
much for sponsoring the podcast.
Oh, I wish. Oh, that'd be the best.
Lifetime supply,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh,
Oh,
my
man.
God. You know what's sick too? My girlfriend, she lives in these like apartments. They're building a bonchon downstairs, like in her. I'm not even joking. And this was like 2 weeks after I introduced her to bonchon. We ordered it it was delicious. And then 2 weeks later, she like sends me a photo and is like, "Hey, they're building this downstairs." And I was like, I am so
Let's
excited.
go.
Yeah,
That's so sick,
it's
dude.
amazing.
Hey, Trevor, how about you show us some cool stuff on your computies?
Oh, yeah.
Quick break from the pod. I just wanted to share with you that we have an exclusive link in our description containing hundreds of the most accurate remakes in the EDM industry. That's right. I said it. Not only that, we have organized folders containing hundreds of Ableton racks and Serum presets ready to be thrown into your project. This might be too big of a secret to share with your friends, so let's keep it between us girls. You're probably thinking that it's going to cost you hundreds of dollars to get these exclusive sounds, but you'll be pleasantly surprised to see how affordable it actually is. Hope you got a big enough hard drive. Check the link in the description called Producer Vault, and let's get you back into the episode.
All right.
I can
So
learn.
we got the laptop open.
the laptop
I'm
open.
going to ask the first question that we're always wondering. Everybody always asks us, how do you get the big, luscious chords that
Sexy.
everybody wants?
Insane amount of layers.
Insane amount of layers.
Fuckload of layers, yeah. So lately, my favorite thing to be doing though is like trying to make up the stack with like the majority of it being guitars.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you would do like, fuck, this is actually gonna be really hard to do without being plugged in with a guitar. But we
Yeah.
might be able to like fudge some shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Do I
Okay.
have,
Fudge it up.
like-
Fudge it up.
Do I have samples of fucking coarse fucking cashmere? Hey, we're back.
Nice.
What's up,
Hottest dude in
handsome
EDM.
motherfucker?
Second best sample packs under Excellent Sound.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sure. This will work. This will work.
Is your go-to tempo 150?
I love 150. Yeah, somewhere around 150 is always where
It feels great.
It does. All right, so that's actually a sick progression. Okay,
Yeah, it's
so
cool.
we'd throw like a bass guitar in there. I always use the Rickenbacker bass from Contact.
Love it.
Oh,
It's-
Ooh,
nice.
that's
Like-
an interesting choice.
I even like I've tried to record a bass guitar before, and then I'll like just for shits, I'm like, let's just see what it sounds like compared to the. I always end up deleting it and just
Yep.
using fucking this shit.
That's
You
so
don't like
fucking
to
funny.
use the basses in
No.
Contact. They're really good, bro.
Dude,
Really?
Seriously.
it's nuts. All right, so we got boom. Come on.
Oh, dude. You just know.
That's it. That's the prog. Actually, here, let's listen to this and see what. I like the Raven a lot. I always go to that guy. Like,
Oh, that's meaty.
Yeah, I'm on this forever now.
okay, I feel like though this
The
is
Ricky
gonna
Raven,
sound
dude.
way better down if we jump down for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
dope.
chunky.
Okay.
Are you an audio guy or MIDI guy?
50-50 kind of. Most of the time I'll like switch to audio, but if it's something that's like I don't think I'm gonna fuck with too much audio and it's not taking up a ton of CPU, I'll leave it MIDI if I can. But actually for Rickenbacker, since I'm not paying for the full thing, I flatten it immediately just because
Nice.
I don't.
Nice.
Let's go.
Just because I don't, yeah, it'll go into demo mode if I leave it open for like 15 minutes or more. Let's see. And then from there, we would do more. I would do 2 more sets of guitars, but I'll try and just like do that with like Omnisphere or something.
Are these some of your go-tos, like in Omnisphere, as far as guitars? If you like, were
No,
just writing.
I never
or-
use Omnisphere guitar. I always like I'll play it in.
Nice.
So I'm literally just kind of shooting in the dark, seeing if we can find like a perfect. No. Actually, that's a sick sounding
That's
tone. Actually,
dope.
I'm just gonna go with that. It's not clean or in. So, with a guitar, I would do like some sort of ostinato playing with like the 5th. And then like flip it. Do the classic fucking.
I love the Hollow Room.
Dude, it's so good.
It's the best. Decapitator.
Finally just got that fucking stupid
I
ass plugin.
know,
I was so
dude.
pissed. So fucking expensive, but worth it.
Yeah.
It's so good. Ooh.
That's lush, if I
Yeah.
might say so myself.
Notice you pan that hard left, huh?
Oh, yeah. So for this one, we'll go in and maybe change the sound up a little bit. We got to find something that's like,
Ah.
that's
I like
nice.
that. That's nice as fuck.
And then instead of this, we'll do like,
Hands up, boys.
Dude. That's great.
That's kill.
so, yeah, I should
God,
probably
we come before you.
Yeah.
Broken.
You're not wrong.
Ready to be rebuilt.
Yeah. I'll just slap this on here for and then like fucking.
So sick.
I like this.
I feel like a poppy piano would probably be good, like something with a lot of highs. Yeah, like that. That's a good piano sound, right?
I was like, did you distort the pians?
It's going to be great in there.
Out of the.
Are you kidding
Look
me?
at how many.
Are you kidding me?
How many notes were there?
Well, he's got an octave.
Yeah, this is just an octave in
Two,
the fifth.
two,
Yeah.
two oct- yeah.
Power?
No inversions yet. We'll see what happens.
Oh,
Here's
this is fucking
There's your
tight.
inversion
Let's
right
go.
there, dude. Actually, here we'll just throw
Nice.
this guy fucking.
There it is.
Nice.
There you go.
Ah. That's the first time he listened to that. He wrote all that out without listening to it.
Yeah.
Are you fucking
Didn't
kidding
even
me?
press
Yeah.
Okay, ready? This can get even crazier.
This is one of those I don't know shit moments.
It's pretty easy to understand, Frank. He's
Uh-oh.
borrowing the fifth and using an augmented ninth.
Okay, Daniel.
Right, Trevor?
That's exactly what I'm doing. That's
You're
it.
giving the viewers incorrect information here, Daniel, okay?
This actually might sound like horse shit, but it'll work, but it might just not be. It might be too much.
Sounds fucking awesome.
Okay, that is pretty cool. I like that, but I want that to all happen like there, and just be like.
Oh
round
yeah, that's nice.
two.
Just a little.
Okay, and then like the sauce though would be like fucking arcade. Okay, so let's find one really quick, like the sauce.
Arcade is
Sauce,
so
dude.
nice.
This is I always use the same fucking this particles.
Particles, yeah.
Dude, holy shit. Yes.
Ooh.
Perfect. Okay, so and then you just gotta. This shit's broken. This is like cheating.
It's
this should
so
not
sick.
exist.
Yeah,
It's
it
so
is
sick.
cheating. It really is.
Should not exist.
Ooh.
Maybe just this one.
Little drone action.
Like without it.
Wow.
What happens? All right, and then say we threw like a quick fucking. You know what? We're on topic of Kashmir today. Fuck it.
Let's do
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, we getting some drums in. Let's go.
Ooh.
Are we gonna make the album, boys? I think we are.
I hope so,
I think we
dude.
just made the set the
Sent
sky
to
out.
we did this. You know, what's that meme with like he like hands buddy the ball and he's like, "You made this? I made this."
Are you looking for a specific kick right now, or are you just let if something really just weird that pokes out that's interesting? You
If
just let
something jumps out, yeah, that sounds like I really like this one, but I don't like the
delay part,
yeah
a little tally.
hats. Great. We'll use the fucking. I think the. Yep.
nice hat.
Ooh,
Oh, that sounds so
I like
tasty.
that.
That might be a little too like dark. That.
That thing at the end.
Yeah, but I don't know. You might not.
Fade it out.
Oh,
Damn.
is that a happy accident?
That was super intentional. I meant to do that.
I love. That's one of my favorite things about producing, is when stuff like that happens, and you're like, oh shit.
That's my favorite stuff I've ever done.
Yeah, it's always the best. Happy accidents. Your drum programming's sick.
Yep.
Fuck. Oh, thank you.
I love doing hat stuff.
Yeah.
I love doing hat stuff. I really like doing weird 808 stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Trevor, before you move on, you did some crazy shortcut shit just now. How did you highlight the whole bar to delete it and replace it with the one you were going to paste?
Oh shit. Yeah. So if you have like everything, copy, paste, delete, paste.
Oh.
Because when it pastes, it highlights everything that you just pasted.
Yeah, that's so quick.
I do that as well.
Wait,
You
copy.
double paste?
Uh-huh.
The old double paste. It probably needs some.
Some ride action.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. I like the highs in that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey. It's just making each individual layer do something interesting, right? And
But it's not too much though, too. It's
no,
like
exactly.
I mean, normally, yeah, you could get even more intricate, do like similar fills in similar spots, but.
Ooh. All the reverse effects fucking crush.
Yeah. Copy, paste, delete. That's the name of the song.
Copy, paste,
Hell
delete.
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
No, it's paste, delete, paste.
Fuck. No, it's copy, paste, delete, paste.
Copy, paste, delete,
Delete,
paste.
paste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CPDP.
Sounds like.
That could be a sex position.
Yeah, but you me too.
that could
and
be
you
a
knew
sex
I was about
position
to
for
say
sure.
it. CPDP. Jesus. A little extra on the second half.
YOLO.
Yep.
Oh, Sublab.
Sub, I use Sublab.
Didn't they give us this?
Yep.
I have this.
Did we not like it?
Um,
Ooh, that's a nice 808.
Chunk of Rooney.
I like smoke.
I like it. I just don't use it all the time. I'll give it back to you.
Now that he's using it, I want to do it. 'Cause I wanna be cool.
No, I'm sure there's better stuff. I like Sublab because it's like, it's nice, it sounds good, it's harmonic, and it's like easy to fucking
Customize. Yeah. Ooh.
We're not even sidechained yet, boys.
Nope.
That sounds great.
I feel like this could be worth also doing like. It's kind of cool. Okay.
4.
Oh my gosh.
And then you're done.
Oh wow, it is more prominent. You
But
can-
it's not. You're not fully pulling the threshold down on all of them. They're like 75% of the
It's
way
for
down.
it's for like the length of the, you know, like I could. If it was all the way down, it pulls it out like slightly too long, like.
Ah.
Okay, so
So wait, just for everybody at home, all you did was you created one sidechain and then you duped it out 3 times.
Yep.
Exactly the
Four
same.
compressors.
Exactly
Yeah,
the same.
Exactly the same. So sometimes I'll change it a little bit, but most of the time, yeah, I'll throw the compressor for this type of shit too that I'm doing, where it's like you really want it to pump.
Yeah.
Crank the ratio, bring the threshold down a decent amount, and then duplicate it 3 times, so you have 4 of them.
What a creative idea, man.
And then
4 Ableton compressors.
yeah, the kick's got a weird cloop, that like
Yeah,
Yeah,
at
now
the end,
now with
plop
it
on it.
sidechained, I'm
yeah, the cloop keeps popping out and sounding super distracting.
It's very avant-garde of you, though.
Very creative.
It just adds character, you know.
Wow, yeah. Wow.
Better. I like that kick. See, it sounds short until you hear it in the mix. You're like, I like it.
Yeah, it could be a little
Longer, yeah.
girthier.
How many ideas of like this do you do? Like, do you like have like a sort of routine where you're like trying to crank out like an idea a day or anything like that, or you just when you're vibing?
I like that.
It's not. I'll go into. I generally don't hop in unless I have an idea or I like have I'm like going somewhere with it.
Yeah.
I'll like have something that I'll fully flesh out, start from scratch, and like it's pretty rare that I have like little things like this sitting on my.
Little sketches.
Yeah,
I'm kind of the same way.
this second one.
Man is not afraid to sidechain. Love it.
That glued it together.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
So much space for a vocal too. I think.
So
with
that
this,
was this fucking. And then from here, could add one more like an actual synth layer. So yeah, normally most of those layers would just be guitar. The arcade would be exactly what it is, but everything
Yeah.
else would be like played guitars, I think.
Would it be acoustic guitar or something with like a little less
Electric.
gain?
Yeah, well, it'd be electric, clean electric for like the hard pans. The power chords would be like crunchy,
Sick.
distorted. So what we can add now though is like a high. This might fuck up the arps that we already have in there.
Ooh.
I mean, that is just gonna stay forever.
Droney drone.
Drones are. I mean, drones are a very easy way to accidentally do a cluster.
Yeah, you have one
interesting.
semitone higher or something, right?
Yeah, or like 2. Most of the time, it'll be like 2, 1 if you're in some minor dark shit. I want the LFO tool on this guy as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
That.
That's the one.
What is that called?
That's a cluster.
I know, but there's the note that you.
It's a minor, minor 9 or a minor 7/9, but like the third inversion.
There's a feeling that you did on that third
Like-
thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what type of inversions or
Yeah,
computer
this guy.
language you have. This.
That.
Love it.
Do you ever listen to Eric Whitaker?
Oh, it sounds so familiar.
Is that a
Yeah,
comedian?
who is that? Sounds like a comedian.
Does.
Yeah, he holds a cigar and wine his whole set.
He's got a great set.
Yeah, it's sick. Dude. No, he does like oh my. The chord on my hand. So I have a tattoo. It's like GFECA. It's the top part of this chord from an Eric Whitaker song. That's like.
Is it in the same finger position as if you were to play it?
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
that's so
dope.
sick.
Yeah.
Another level
Oh,
of like.
man.
Yeah, I know music theory.
I'm gonna look it up on YouTube because it's worth it. Because this.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
do it.
dude.
Not that one. I think it's the next one.
Now, there's a lot of things about that. So first, find these things all over the place. In A Boy and a Girl, there's a moment where they sing Giving Silence, which is...
That's the one
That's
right
it.
there.
No, sorry. Right when I heard it, I was like, oh, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, look at this shit.
Dude, I want to watch that video.
Me
It's
too.
really cool.
Oh my god, we can.
Is he a
it's
composer?
Short. It's short. Yeah, he does like choral compositions.
Oh wow.
What is it actually? Let's use this one. That chord
Yeah.
slaps so hard, dude.
Man.
Like I could probably listen to.
Ooh.
Oh wow, there is something about that.
You can just hear what the next chord is going to be. I love chords that you can like know what the next chord's going to be. Oh, shimmer.
Shimmer. Never
Double.
use shimmer. Ooh, shimmer's nice.
I think it's a specific tool you use.
I could probably listen to that chord for an hour and just be like, oh, this is so nice. It sounds so good.
Very powerful.
It's so good. That's a good example of clusters. That's like, oh, it's so nice.
This is so sick, bro. Thank you so much for doing this.
Dude, fuck
Seriously.
yeah. So I'd probably go, at this point, I'd probably just go in and like tweak shit. Like make the snare probably bigger and more like have like a longer clappy tail, you know, on it. Like the kick could come up a little bit, just like fine tune shit. But that's like the fundamental of all
Dude.
this
So
shit.
sick,
you know?
man.
You answered the question and some
Hell
and
yeah.
more. So I feel like that was fucking great as far
Fuck
as
yeah.
like
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks,
we
guys.
Dude, it
wanted
was
to talk
super
about
sick.
you literally went over I think everything we all wanted to ask
That
as far
was-
as production wise.
fuck
Just to be
yeah.
able to watch
Yeah.
you do that was so fucking amazing,
Hell
bro. Thank
yeah.
you so much.
Yeah,
That was
of
really,
course.
really cool. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
and if I guess if there's anything else you want me to fucking.
Yeah, I think this is it. This
Yeah.
was like such a really like such an in-depth look in like creating a skeleton. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like if there was a vocalist, you know, I don't know if you would have went this deep.
Not
but
even
like,
close.
Not
This
even
is
close.
like 10 times probably what it like.
Wow.
Legitimately, if I was in with a vocalist, it'd just be a guitar. Like that's it. I
Wow.
would stop at a guitar, maybe a piano or a pad in the back for like atmosphere and stuff.
Yeah.
But
You want to give them the most room possible to
yeah,
make it
exactly.
Yeah.
exactly. And then what's nice about that though too is like if you go 2 in, you start adding your own melodies, your own like flourishes. They have to work to that. Whereas if you get the vocal melody like structured out from the get-go, everything that you add can complement that, and you know it gives you ideas as far as okay, cool, if I want like the lead and the drop can mimic the chorus melody for like the first half and then deviate, or you know what I mean, like you can
Yeah.
the production can fit the vocal better unless the vocalist is insane and they can write the perfect melody to the, but then a lot of times you're like carving out space for it, making it fit, whereas if you just start with the vocal, it's so you know you're going in the right direction.
That's super, super cool. You're not like kind of pigeonholed into something that you wrote instead of, you know, listening for the right melody.
Exactly.
It's really, really cool, man.
Hell yeah.
Do you guys have any other questions?
No, bro, that was
Covered it for me. That
Damn,
was sick.
fucking
Fuck
solid
yeah,
Yeah.
dope. Yeah,
pod.
there's nothing like insane going on. It's all just like weird techniques to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching another episode of The Excellent Show with the boys. Trevor Said the Sky, thank you so much for coming.
Dude, thank you guys for having me.
It's
Really,
always a pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Danny and Frank, let's roll out.
Subscribe, like the comments, the belows, and obviously check out Trevor and everything he's doing.
Thank you so much for
yeah.
coming. This has been
Thank
a
you
pleasure.
guys.
Seriously.
Hell yeah, I
Super
really appreciate
sick.
it.
Last thing too, I forgot to tell you. This is just a little slight little compliment. I fucking love the name Said the Sky.
Me too.
Such a
Thanks, man.
solid fucking name.
Hell yeah, thank
It's
you,
super
man.
dope.
I had to say that.
Fuck yeah,
I do
appreciate
wait.
it.
I have one last question.
Hit me. Yeah.
What did the sky say?
I hate
We're
you.
cutting it there.